kami hormati Presiden Parles English, Saudara Irwandi.
Dear Honorable Chief of Committee Training of Tutors, Mr. Nafi'i Ihsan.
Yang kami hormati Ketua Panitia Training of Tutors, Saudara Nafi'i Ihsan.
Respectable all of guest training of tutors.
Yang kami hormati para tamu undangan training Saudara Irwandi.
Respectable organizers of Parlance English.
Yang kami hormati para organizer Parlance English.
Honorable Ralat, the unforgettable all of participant training of tutors.
Dan yang kami hormati pula para peserta training of tutors.
Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, let's thank to the God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness, from the city era to Clibulus era. Ralat. Firstly, let's thank to our God Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us some mercies and blessings, so we can attend and gather in this peace without any trouble and obstacles.
Secondly, peace and salutation always be given to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who has guided us from the darkness to the lightness, from the stupidity era to cleverness era, namely Islamic religion, the true religion in this world and hereafter.
Opening ceremony, training of tutors, Parlance English by the Unlocking Innovative Strategies English Tutors, conducted at the University of Nahdlatul Ulama, West Nusa Tenggara, Mataram, Saturday, 27 May 2023. We are as master of ceremony. We would like to read our agenda today. The first agenda is opening. The second agenda is reciting Holy Quran. The third agenda is singing. The fourth agenda is reporting, welcome speech, acknowledgement, and the last agenda is pray and closing.
Hadirin yang berbahagia, marilah kita buka acara ini dengan sama-sama melafazkan Al-Basmalah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. The second agenda is reciting Holy Quran. Will be recited by our sister, Miss Vidya. Time is yours.
Acara kedua, pembacaan ayat suci Al-Quran yang akan dilantunkan oleh Saudara Vidya. Kami persilahkan. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhallazina amanu ta'inu bis sabri was salat. Innallaha ma'as sabirin. Wala taqulu liman talu bi sabilillahi amwat, bal ahya'u walakin la tash'urun. ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين صدق الله العظيم. Sadaqallah, sadaqallah, sadaqallahul azim. Maha benar Allah dengan segala firman-Nya.
The third agenda is singing national anthem and UNU NTB Mars will be led by our sister, Miss Diana Hesti. Time is yours.
Acara ketiga menyanyikan lagu kebangsaan Indonesia Raya dan Mars UNU NTB yang akan dipandu oleh Saudari Diana Hesti Herlinda. Kami persilahkan. Hadirin dimohon berdiri.
Halo.
Dipersilahkan duduk kembali.
The next agenda is welcome speech. The first welcome speech will be delivered by former President of Parlance English, Mr. Sugianto, SPD. The floor is yours.
Acara selanjutnya, sambutan pertama yang akan disampaikan oleh Presiden Demisioner Parlance English kepada Saudara Sugianto SPD, kami persilahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Excellency Rector University of Nahdlatul Ulama West Nusa Tenggara, The Excellency the Third Vice Rector of Nahdlatul Ulama University West Nusa Tenggara, The Excellency Advisors of Parlance English, Mr. Hadi Wijaya, Mr. Ahmad Sirajuddin, and The Excellency all seniors of Parlance English, the Honorable all the organizer of Parlance English, and unforgettable all the participants of training of Tutor 2023. Okay, I'm a little shocked, yeah, because seharusnya, okay, let me use bahasa to make clear and fast. Izin semua tim dari Kelas Kreatif Indonesia untuk informasi bahwa Parlance English ini adalah salah satu UKM, unit kegiatan mahasiswa di Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama West Nusa Tenggara, ya, di NTB. Jadi kampus kami juga baru, terlebih-lebih lagi UKM ini sekitar berjalan melaksanakan kegiatan yang menurut pantauan semua sivitas akademik di UNU NTB bahwa UKM Parlance English adalah UKM teraktif di Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama. Tepuk tangan. Alhamdulillah. Namun kami di sini terus berproses melaksanakan kegiatan dari kepengurusan selanjutnya, dan alhamdulillah untuk saat ini saya berdiri di sini mewakili Presiden of Parlance English, Mr. Irwandi. Beliau sekarang sedang di rumah sakit, ya, beserta vice-nya juga, dua-duanya sedang di rumah sakit. Jadi mungkin kita doakan untuk mereka, ya, semoga cepat sembuh dan bisa kembali bergabung bersama kita. Dan selanjutnya untuk informasi untuk tim dari Kelas Kreatif Indonesia bahwa kegiatan training of tutors ini diperuntukkan sebenarnya untuk semua member, semua organizer yang akan melanjutkan ke estafetan kepengurusan selanjutnya di Parents English. Nah, mungkin ini TOT ini kegiatan yang sesekian kalinya yang kami lakukan, terlebih khusus untuk mereka-mereka yang menjadi peserta inti di kegiatan ini. Ya, tidak lain tidak bukan, tujuannya adalah untuk menambah kualitas mereka, kita semua ya. Terlebih-lebih untuk saat ini kita berkolaborasi dengan KKI, alhamdulillah, dengan harapan di kegiatan yang pertama kali kita lakukan secara online ini akan mendapatkan waktu yang lebih ya, kegiatan-kegiatan yang sebelumnya. Ya, karena saat ini alhamdulillah kita bisa berkolaborasi sekali lagi dengan Kelas Kreatif Indonesia untuk ketika menghubungi KKI kemarin, alhamdulillah respon dari tim KKI ya, Pak Dadan, terima kasih, responnya sangat baik untuk kami. Ya, terlebih-lebih kami kegiatan main ini ya. Kegiatan utamanya adalah belajar bahasa Inggris. Ya, harapan kami karena kegiatan ini adalah training yang tutors ya. Semoga kami bisa menambah kualitas ya, baik dari individu masing-masing dan Barcelona ITB secara umum. Nah, sekira itu dari saya ya. Terima kasih. Mungkin untuk terakhir dari sambutan saya, kami minta maaf untuk semua tim KKI yang saat ini sudah bergabung via online. Kegiatannya bukan sedikit lagi ya, lumayan ini ya, lumayan ngaret karena memang beberapa hal secara teknis. Terlebih-lebih ini adalah kegiatan pertama yang kami lakukan secara online. Jadi kebutuhan dan keperluan peralatan yang lainnya apa adanya ya. Semoga bisa dimaklumi dari semua tim KKI untuk kekurangan dan budaya-budaya kami yang saat ini sudah ditampilkan ya. Ya, itu mungkin dari saya. Terima kasih. Semoga kegiatan ini menambah kualitas individu kita masing-masing maupun Barcelona ITB secara umum. Dan tentunya membawa nama baik Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama Nusa Tenggara Barat. Ya. Terakhir ya. Wallahul muwaffiq ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
The second welcome speech will be delivered by Advisor of Parlance English, University of Nahdlatul Ulama, West Nusa Tenggara, Mr. Yusri Rahman, SPD. The floor is yours.
Sambutan kedua yang akan disampaikan oleh pembina Parlance English sekaligus yang akan membuka acara Training of Tutor kepada Saudara Yusri Rahman SPD. Kami persilahkan.
Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Excellency Director of UNU NTB, the Third Vice Rector of UNU NTB,
and the advisor of Parcel Uno NTB, and my respectable to all good speakers from Kelas Kreatif Indonesia, and also all the members of Parcel Uno NTB, and unforgettable to all audiences who join this program. First of all, I would like to say thank you so much, to all or to those who participate and join to support this program, especially to Kelas Kreatif Indonesia, to all the speakers, and I hope this program can be done well and finished. Thank you so much to all of you for your nice attention, and I'm so sorry if I have any mistake. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And the next agenda is pray. Will be led by our brother, Mr. Samsudin. Time is yours.
Acara selanjutnya, doa yang akan dipimpin oleh Saudara Samsudin. Kepadanya kami persilahkan.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Baik, untuk mengakhiri acara pembukaan kita pada pagi hari ini, marilah kita sama-sama menundukkan kepala dan bermunajat kepada Allah Subhanahu wa taala. Mudah-mudahan acara ini di atas sebagai amal ibadah kita dan kita semua mendapatkan limpahan keberkahan dari Allah Subhanahu wa taala. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Hamdan hamidin, hamdan zakirin, hamdan syakirin, hamdan radin, hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu yukafi mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika sultanik. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa ala ali sayyidina Muhammad. Allahumma salli sayyidina wa habibina wa syafina wa maulana Muhammad اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد صلاة تنجينا بها من جميع الأهوال والآفات وتقضينا بها جميع الحاجات وترفعنا بها يا الله إنك على الدرجات وطب لنا بها وصول الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وأبا منك على كل شيء قدير. اللهم إنا نسألك في الدين وعافية في الجسد وازلة في العلم وازلة في العلم. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. سبحان رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. الفاتحة. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Last agenda is closing.
Hadirin yang berbahagia, marilah kita tutup acara ini dengan sama-sama melafazkan Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin.
We are as master of ceremony.
We
We do apologize for our mistake. Thank you so much for your attention. And the last message, wallahu perfect ila aqwamit thoriq. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Cik, 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 cik. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay. We will do now ya. We will do our main what? Ya, main meeting ya. Main agenda ya. So for all the participants ya, please prepare all things that you will do for unit for this agenda. Okay. For every for KKI. Jadi teman-teman ini yang hadir di sini adalah peserta inti dan mereka akan menjadi tutor ya. Akan menjadi tutor member-member baru yang akan mendaftar nanti di PMB ya, Universitas Nahdlatul Ulama. Mereka telah melaksanakan melewati berapa seperti biasa masuk seluruh B dan selanjutnya S dilaksanakan per semester 1 bulan full. Nah, setelah ya teman-teman yang di sini ada di tutor untuk UKM ya oleh Parlans Inggris untuk member-member baru di setelah training of leadership baru semester selama 1 bulan full. Dan saat ini dan untuk informasinya kita akan untuk menjadi tutor untuk member-member baru. Dan beberapa kegiatan kami juga di Fadadan seluruh tim dari KKI melaksanakan kegiatan outdoor ya, yaitu turun ke masyarakat, sekolah, kontribusi, especially in English. Ya. Jadi itu Fadadan informasinya dari kami sebelum materi. Mungkin kegiatan ini sama-sama kita pada izin. Dan selanjutnya mikrofon saya serahkan ke moderator. Oke. To moderator, this bill is yours. This is.
Pagi, dan wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'du. Pertama-tama marilah kita panjatkan puja beserta puji syukur kita atas kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa taala yang telah melimpahkan karunia-Nya sehingga kita dapat berkumpul dapat mengikuti acara pada pagi hari. Alhamdulillah. Kedua kalinya selawat beserta salam tak lupa kita curahkan kepada baginda alam Nabi besar Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam yang telah membawa umat manusia dari alam kegelapan menuju alam yang terang benderang. Dengan kata lain, minaz-zulumati ilan. Selamat datang di acara Training of Tutor Parallel English UNTB, a collaborative learning session with Kelas Kreatif Indonesia. Ya, teman-teman, acara ini dapat disaksikan melalui Zoom meeting dan YouTube Parallel English. Nah, sebelum itu, mari kita sapa-sapa dulu nih pembicara kita pada pagi hari ini. Ya, di sini yang pertama ada Miss Ya, selamat pagi, Mister. Halo.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
Ya, good morning, Mister. Ya, di sini ada Mister Senendri. Selamat pagi, Mister. Halo.
Halo, good morning. Selamat pagi.
Oke, selanjutnya di sini siapa nih? Ya, ada Miss Nusratun Nisa. Good morning, Miss. Hello.
Morning.
Oke, next, the last ada Mr. Belvin. Halo, Mr. Belvin.
Good morning.
Ya. Baiklah, sebelum kita beralih ke materi-materi ya, langsung saja mungkin di sini nanti akan dibawakan materi-materi luar biasa oleh speaker hebat kita pada hari ini ya. Sebelumnya di sini ada sesi pertama. Engaging English lesson.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119
Ini ada Mr. Dadan ya yang akan membawakan ya materi yang bertema planning and engaging English lesson. Ya, sebelum itu saya akan membacakan visi dari pemateri kita. Beliau di sini ya sebagai pengajar bahasa Indonesia di Bandung Independent School. Ya, beliau juga sebagai pengajar BIPA di Bandung Independent School, teacher trainer, writing coach, editor buku, founder Kelas Kreatif Indonesia, founder dan training di KKEDU LED Indonesia, bidang bidadar. Oke, di sini lanjut ada institusinya. Nah, beliau juga di sini Bandung Independent School atau Bandung International School 2006 sampai sekarang. Luar biasa sekali. Selanjutnya di sini beliau juga berinstitusi di komunitas pendidik Kelas Kreatif Indonesia dari 2008 sampai sekarang. Luar biasa sekali. Sudah lama ya. Nah, selanjutnya di sini ada KKDU LED Indonesia dari 2020 sampai dengan sekarang. Ya, di sini juga ada MIH Unlimited 2009 sampai sekarang. Nah, selanjutnya di sini ada pendidikan beliau yakni S1 Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris UPI 2023, S2 Administrasi Pendidikan 2011. Nah, di mana di sini ada aktivitasnya beliau menjadi narasumber dan trainer baik di kegiatan nasional maupun internasional di beberapa lembaga seperti Telkom University, Universitas Pendidikan Indonesia, IKIP, Siliwangi, Yatopah, dan sebagainya. Luar biasa, Masya Allah banyak sekali sampai saya tidak bisa sebutkan satu persatu. Ya. Nah, ini akan membawakan materi sekali lagi yang bertema planning and engaging English lesson. Ya, yang akan dibawakan oleh our speaker today by Mr. Dadan. Time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Hello, everyone. Good morning. It's so happy to meet you today. So I'm going to use English for our session today. And then based on the information I have got from Mr. Sugianto, all of you are designated or planned to be tutor. So that's why our topics today is relating to prepare yourself to be a tutor. Yeah. Please allow me to share my screen. Okay, wait a second. Can you see the screen, everyone?
Yeah.
Can you see the screen? Yeah, it's clear. Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. My topic is planning an engaging English lesson. Yeah. So my expectation to all of you is that you can use the materials that I'm going to present today. Might be later when you have one-on-one tutoring with your students or with bigger audience like students in the classroom. So my name is Dadan from Kelas Kreatif Indonesia, and for this session I'm going to present for about 20 minutes. So a lesson plan is your best weapon in that battle, yeah. So creating a great lesson plan is very important because some people say that good lesson plan is the 50% of the success. If you have a good preparation, I believe it's going to be you are going to have a good class in terms of the delivery of the lesson. Here is a good quote that I found. If you are good at teaching unplanned lessons, you will be even better at teaching with a plan. So planning is very, very important here. So in this first session, I need to highlight that this is only introductory session. This is only like very brief on how to create a lesson plan, because I assume that for creating a good lesson plan, it requires lots of practice, it requires time, and it requires feedback also from the expert, from a mentor. Yeah. And my first plan is actually we are going to have an interactive approach, but then after looking at the scheduling, after looking at the hybrid approach that we have now, I don't think it's going to happen. So basically, I'm going to just present the materials for you, and then if you have any question, you can unmute yourself if you are in Zoom, or you can grab the mic and then directly ask the question. Active participation is very important because that's the essence of having a great lesson or engaging lesson. So I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to go to the next one. Okay. So the rundown of my activity or my session will be define an engaging English lesson, and then discuss the importance of facilitating engaging lessons, and then reflect on past experiences or discuss on challenges and solutions, discuss the components of a lesson, and the next one, get new insight on designing lesson plan, and the last one, of course, plan and integrate engaging activities in a lesson plan. Okay, everyone, I need your help now. If you are in Zoom, can you write down one word that comes to mind relating to engaging? So engaging is, okay, can you write in Zoom? And then if you are in the auditorium right now, you can write on the piece of paper, and then the moderator, you can give one mic to one person, and then you can share your opinion live, yeah? Can I give you like about 30 seconds for you to write down, everyone? One word that comes to mind relating to engaging is, okay, I'm waiting, yeah. Okay, audience in the Zoom, can you write it down your answer? One word that comes to mind relating to engaging. Okay, thank you, Pak Belvin. Fun. Yes, thank you very much. Next one. Interesting, communicative. Thank you very much. We try to use English, yeah, everyone. Interesting. Ah, singing. That's very nice option, Pak Sugianto. Interesting, so good. What else? Game. Yes, thank you very much. Anything else? Attractive. Yes, thank you very much. Okay, let's go ahead, yeah. So let's find the, not really the answer, but this is the synonym of the word engaging. And some words quite familiar with all of us, like appealing, attractive. Yeah, one of you already mentioned attractive, fascinating, interesting, intriguing, likable, lovable, pleasant, and then sweet. That's very good or interesting word. And then magnetic, winning, winsome. I don't know. That's some new words also for me. Yeah. So the word engaging here, referring to other words, referring to the feeling, yeah, when we enter the class, English class. The next one. Antonym for engaging. So this is the antonym. These are the antonyms of the word engaging, like boring, disagreeable, hurtful, mean, ugly, repellent, undesirable. I hope this is not happening in the class when you enter like the classroom, when you enter like having a lesson in university, or when you deliver a lesson in the classroom. I hope it's not happening to your class, yeah, because we want to have an engaging lesson. Okay, the next one is recent research shows that students learn more when they are having fun. So I think this is the key points. This is the belief that I have as well in my class during my, I don't know, I think I've been teaching for more than 20 years. So the first priority that I have in mind is that very important for me for the student to have fun in my class. I mean, have fun here is not like uncontrolled have fun, but have fun with some engagement. I mean, like they are engaged in the classroom activities and still referring to the learning objectives. So fun is number one for my teaching philosophy. Yeah. And then from the fun here, they will have like positive emotional states. And then the duty of the teachers is to provide also the positive environment so that the student can feel or enjoy the class. Okay, I'm going to skip this one, yeah, everyone, because we don't have much time until later at 12 o'clock. Okay, so this is the activity 5. So these are the information from many websites. If you want to create an engaging lessons, you need to consider several the following key points here. Number one, yeah, somebody already mentioned games before. Games and competition. So when you run a class, when you facilitating a lesson with the students, whether like 1 student, 2 students, 3 students, I think providing games is very important. Yeah, you need to find games are available, like lots of games available on the internet, so it's very easy for you to find games. But then later you need to find games that is suitable with the students level of competency, with the student skills as well, and student interest as well. And the next one, competition. If you have like groups of students, it will be easy for you to have competition. And then for adult learning like me or the other presenters, I think we still enjoy joining the games and competition. The second one is multisensory learning. So multisensory learning means that when you are learning something, we are not only providing like the text or the reading text, we also need to find something that will make students use their like senses, yeah. So they can touch, they can hear, they can watch, they can read, they can smell if possible. So when we are learning about cooking, of course, it's better if we directly cook the food and taste the food, yeah. And then number 3 is small group work. So hopefully we have the same belief that learning is not solely belongs to like individually, yeah. So we need to offer the activities where students have the opportunity for them to work together with other students. Number 4 is visual ways, almost the same with number 2. And I really believe on that learning need to be visual, learning need to be like seen. So that's why using images and videos are quite important in facilitating English lesson. And number 5, make connections. The meaning here, when you are teaching English or teach whatever subject you want to deliver, make sure you make connection with the real life situation, and if possible, like solving world problems if possible, yeah. But connecting to the student's life is very, very important. And then options. So options here means that we need to provide option choices for the students. Number 7 and number 5 is almost the same, real life scenarios. And then number 8, technology, if possible. I think teenagers nowadays quite connected with handphone. So if you can use handphone in your class as part of the learning activities will be good as well. And then number 9, interactive. It's quite significant to boost the motivation. And number 10, as a teacher, we need to think outside the box. Sometimes the plan that we have, like we spend like 1 hour creating or designing a lesson, but then in class it doesn't work at all. So we need to think outside of the box, like what kind of activities that we are going to give to our student as an alternative activities. Yeah, the 10 here out of like plenty of others will boost students motivation. And it's not only for English. So whatever subject you want to teach, please try to occupy, please try to use those 10 key points. Yeah, this is like the summary from many resources. And then the teacher or the tutor must be enthusiastic can be approached or having can be approached by the students, and the last one is creative. The next one. A lesson plan is the instruction roadmap of what students need to learn and how it will be done effectively during the class time. Okay, so this is very important for you, especially for the new teachers, to have a good lesson plan. And to have a good lesson plan, you need to be trained. And then by having 20 minutes learning with me, I don't think it's going to be enough. You need to have like more time, more efficient, more feedback to make sure you have a good lesson plan. So many samples of the template of lesson plan. You can find it online, and then you can find the one that is suitable with yourself. Please take note that lesson plan supposed to be not belongs to the doesn't belong to the administrator. Lesson plan belongs to you. So you can use your own way in designing the lesson by using the suitable lesson plan. The question, what are the components of a lesson plan? Everyone, can you write down in chat? Or the same question, what are the key parts of an effective lesson plan? Can you write it down? What are the components of a lesson plan? Or what are the key parts of an effective lesson plan? I have 28 in the Zoom. Thank you very much, Pak Belvin. Learning outcome. Okay. Anything else, everyone? The component of a lesson plan. It's mean the audience. Okay, let's say it's okay. Thank you, Pak Sugianto. The key parts. So it must be like visible, can be read by us. Connection. Okay, thank you very much. Teaching methodologies, strategy. Thank you again, Pak Belvin. Okay, time is over, yeah. So I'm going to let's see the answer here. So as I mentioned to you before, this is only like one information that I use here. So many other versions, so many other styles, but the most effective lesson plans have 6 key parts. Number 1, you need to have the lesson objectives. Number 2, you need to have related requirements. Number 3, you need to have lesson materials. Number 4, you need to have lesson procedures or activities or methodologies. Number 5, you need to have assessment method, and the last one, you need to have lesson reflection, which I think is quite new for some of you to have the reflection at the end of the lesson plan. I'm going to explain to you one by one. Yeah. So number 1 is lesson objectives. Lesson objective is what student will be able to do after completing the lesson. So it's quite significant. You have a clear lesson objective because when you have the lesson objective stated clearly at the beginning, it will influence the other stages, the other steps, like creating the activities, creating the assessment, or creating them or using the materials as well. And number 2 is related requirements. Related requirements are national, state, or school standards that dictate what you need to teach in class. Sometimes it's out of our control. Yeah, we already like provided by the government or by the school. This is the thing that you need to teach. But then at the end, we are the main actor in the class, so we can modify the lesson. We can like having some adjustment with the activities in our lessons as well. Okay. When you are creating the lesson objectives, make sure it refers to the SMART approach. Like number 1 is specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time bound. So the T here we are going to discuss later. Yeah. Okay. Number 3 is lesson material. Oops, I think I skipped that part. Okay, it's okay. Lesson materials. the list of materials that you need to teach the lesson and measure student outcomes. So you can use materials around you. Doesn't have to be fancy, doesn't have to be expensive. You can find like the balls that the kids usually play. I think this is for the baby, yeah. You can use that balls. You can use like the paper. You can use like the coin for the score, and then you can use the flashcard. So anything that you can use for teaching, try to find around your house, or the things that you can buy like cheap, yeah. Doesn't have to be expensive. Number 8. Sorry, activity 8. The most effective lesson plan have 6 key parts. And then number 4 is lesson procedure or activities. Your lesson procedure is an in-depth explanation of how the lesson will progress in the classroom. And I believe this is like the key elements of the lesson plan, yeah. Because in the lesson plan, you need to create activities from minute 1 until the last minute or at the end of the lesson. Here are the things that you need to remember when you are creating activities for your students, because you are going to be tutor, yeah. So you have, let's say, 60 minutes. So in 60 minutes, you need to create for 45 to 50 minutes lesson only, because for the other 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I think this is the time for your student to come to the class, open the book or greeting or something like that. Yeah. So with 60 minutes lesson, create only for 50 minutes. But on my belief, I will create for the 55 minutes, not like really 50 minutes, because like 10 minutes, it's kind of like too long, yeah, if we didn't plan anything for 10 minutes. And the second one, when you create the lesson, put that in the short activities. Let's say for the 10 minutes chunks. So if you have like 50 minutes lesson, it means you need to have at least 5 different activities. So not the whole activities, the whole 50 minutes, your students just keep reading. No, you need to create 5 different activities, because we want to make sure we have like 10 minutes chunk, yeah, for each activity. Should it be like 10 minutes? Not really. You can have like the 5 minutes, you can have the 7 minutes, but make sure you have different kind of activities in your lessons, including the activities for the individual learning, including the activities for pair activities, small group activities, and the whole class activities, of course, including the game as well, yeah. The next one, here are the important stages that you need to consider when planning the activities in the class. Number 1, you need to have the warm-up activity. The warm-up activity, if possible, you can have the total physical approach, TPR, total physical response approach. My bad, yeah, if I forget TPR means. You can ask the student to have like small games, like running to the whiteboard, or they can have like kind of competition at the beginning. Ask them to move, ask them to sing. So whatever possible, that's very important at the beginning of the lesson. And then the next one is introduction and pre-teaching. You need to also introduce, or you need to also like tell the student what they are going to study, what they are going to get at the end of the lesson, what competencies or skills they are going to occupy at the end of the lesson. And then the next one is main activities. And the next one is feedback and reflection. Of course, the last one is wrap up and extension. If we have longer session, I would be happy, Pak Sugianto, to go through one by one, to have some strategies, like what are the warm-up strategies, what the introduction strategies, or the main activity strategies. So I believe today's session is only for the introduction, yeah, to make sure you are aware that when you have the student, when you are the tutor and you have the student to be taught, it's not just you open the textbook and then, oh, okay, I will teach this part to my students. No, lots of things, lots of stages you need to take before you go to the class or before you meet with your students. Okay, the next one is assessment. Wait a second. Okay, the assessment method measures whether your students learn a lesson's information and met your lesson objectives. So creating assessment, suitable assessments are also important. Yeah. Lesson reflection. The lesson reflection portion of a lesson plan encourages teacher to take notes on how to improve a lesson after it has been completed. It is very important for new teachers or for new tutor to have reflection every time you finish your teaching. Like, what are the good points? What are the areas of improvement? So later, when you meet the students at the next meeting or at the next session, you can improve your service. You can improve your teaching performance. And then the reflection is not only coming from you. You can get feedback from the students. Like, you can ask, like, how do you feel? How do you like about my class? What you don't like about my class? So they can share their opinion, their feelings to you, and then you can take note on that, and then make a revision on your lesson plan, make revision on your approach, and on the next meeting, you can be a better tutor, you can be a better teacher. Okay, this part I'm going to skip. I don't have much time, so that's the end of my presentation. I plan to have an interactive session, but I think it's unlikely happening for now. Maybe for next session, yeah, Pak Sugianto, I can have long and interactive session and more comprehensive materials that I can give it to all of you. So this is the references. These are the references that I use for my presentation today. And then I hope you learned something. And if you have any question about becoming a tutor, yeah, in relating to the lesson plan, you can directly ask me. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much, Guru. Ready. Okay. The next agenda is Q&A. Ya, di sini selanjutnya nanti teman-teman akan bisa bertanya kepada Mr. Dadan terkait apa yang belum dipahami atau sesuatu yang akan ditanyakan terkait materi mungkin atau lainnya. Ya, silahkan kepada yang akan bertanya, silahkan angkat tangan dulu. Yang pertama diutamakan dari sini dari via offline. Boleh? Ya. Ya, Saudari Okta.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih kepada moderator telah memberikan saya kesempatan untuk bertanya. Jadi langsung saja pertanyaan saya itu adalah apakah ada strategi atau metode khusus dalam engaging lesson ini yang efektif untuk menjaga minat audiens selama pelajaran? Kan kita menjelaskan misalkan. Terus bagaimana sih caranya biar siswa kita itu tidak merasa bosan dengan apa yang kita terangkan? Baik, terima kasih. Mungkin cuma ini yang dapat saya tanyakan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Oke, pertanyaannya kita tampung dulu. Selanjutnya di sini dari via Zoom mungkin ada yang akan bertanya. Bisa lewat langsung atau chat ya.
There is no question. Can I try to directly answer the question?
Okay, directly, Mr. You can do it.
Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. The question is about motivation and engagement with your students, yeah? So basically that's what I present today. It's all relating to how to engage the students in your class. And I would like to highlight some key points, okay, that you might be able to work on your side as a tutor to engage your students if they have like lack of motivation. Here are the key points. So if you try some of them, if you try one of them, I believe it will have more students participation in your class. Because you mentioned that, oh, if I only explaining, yes, of course, they will get bored easily. So make sure you have not lots of, like kind of different activities in your class, like several activities addressing the lesson objectives. So the explanation can be one of the student activity, but then what happened before? What happened after? So before the student read, you can have like, let's say, the key vocabularies from the reading. You write down or you print the vocabulary in a piece of paper, and then you cut the vocabulary into like small size, and then you ask the student to discuss the word before they read the text. So it might be, which I'm sure, it will give them the opportunity to be engaged with the text before you give the text. So they already know the vocabulary, they already aware about the topics they are going to read. Yeah, and then after that we can have the reading. So the reading itself, you can make it interesting, whether you can ask the student to have to read aloud and the others can listen, or you can have a group reading where the students annotate together the text and then have a discussion on the text. And then another one, you can ask the student before the class what kind of topic they are interested to study, and it will boost their motivation. It will develop their motivation as well. So lots of things, and I hope you can use some of the 10 strategies here, and I do really believe it will develop students motivation and engagement in your class. So it's going to be long discussion, yeah, because we need to put it in practice, like what kind of activities, what kind of approach, and etc. relating to motivation and engagement. Thank you. Thank you. There is a question from Nafi. How we enjoy a lesson in the is your question as a student or your question as a tutor? Nafi, what is your role here, as a student or as a tutor? Okay, I'm going to go to the next question then. Oh, both. Okay, that's very interesting because I need to give you different answers on this. Yeah. If you are a tutor, I think moderator, can you help mute the participants' microphone? Anissa Aulia, thank you very much. So, how we enjoy the lessons, yeah? How we enjoy the lesson, the English lessons. If you have interest and you know the benefit of English for your life, I think it's gonna be good for you, a good opportunity for you to enjoy the lessons. And English is very important language that you need to have. And some people have like 3 languages, right? The local language, Indonesian, and I believe you need to have the third language, the international language, and one of them is English. Open door to opportunity. I think many people go abroad because they can speak English. So if you have that motivation, I think you will enjoy the lesson. And for students, sometimes it depends on the teachers. So if the teachers can provide an engaging lessons, it's gonna be easier for students to enjoy the lesson as well. Next question from Nita. When reflection session, how about condition when our reflection? So different opinion, yeah, from the students and from the tutor. We need to try to be objective, like whether this is like pure opinion without evidence or this is the opinion with evidence. Okay. And then in some points, in some points, the students' feedback does matter for us. Okay, but then we don't have to like take it like 100%. We need to filter, we need to analyze which one that referring to our professional skills, which one referring to our personal, and then we don't have to address everything at once. We can improve like one by one. For the next session, for example, when the student said that, oh, Mister, your pronunciation is not good. Okay, so I will address that first, yeah. And with all others feedback, for example. So for the next session, okay, I will try to prepare. I need to make a list of the vocabulary relating to the language of instruction. So when I speak, I can have a better fluent English with my students. Something like that. Okay, the last question, I believe, because we need to go to second session. Yeah, how to be a good teacher. What make a lesson considered engaging or interesting for student? Okay, I will give you the slide so you can read the slide. All slides relating to engaging, planning and engaging lessons. So from Hidayatul Helmi, how to be a good teacher. I think number one, you need to have a passion to be a teacher. So because it must be coming from your heart, not just because, oh, I need to be a teacher because this is the last job that I can get, for example. Yeah, no, it's not like that. Or because the money will provide me with like money. No, you need to be patient. You need to love children because you are going to meet lots of children, lots of students with different characters, and you need to love all of them as your students. I think that's the basic things. Yeah, and then you can be a good teacher because teacher is correct, yeah, Bu Nisa, a long life journey. So there is no good teacher and you can make it like in 1 night or 2 nights or 1 month, 2 months or 10 years, 20 years. No, it's still like part of the learning. You are a teacher and you are also a learner. Okay, I think that's it. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, moderator. I think my time is already up, so because we will limit until 12. Thank you, everyone. You are still muted. Sorry. I cannot hear anything. The moderator is on mute.
Okay, the next material will be delivered by our speaker, Mistress Nendri, by the part speaking activity. Before that, I will read CP. Nah, di sini Mr. Tris Nendri ini sebagai lecture public speaker luar biasa. Nah, beliau berpendidikan sebagai di bahasa Inggris IKIP Siliwangi 2011 itu adalah S1-nya. Selanjutnya di sini ada S2-nya beliau yaitu Linguistik Bahasa Inggris Unpad 2015. Selanjutnya di sini ada S3 beliau di Linguistik Terapan Bahasa Inggris Unika Atmajaya. Luar biasa sekali. Selanjutnya di sini beliau pernah menjadi speaker dan trainer di berbagai macam tempat dan berbagai macam materi yang pernah disampaikan. Luar biasa. Baiklah teman-teman, beri tepuk tangan yang meriah dulu untuk speaker kita. Ya, sebelum kita beralih, mari kita sapa dulu speaker kita. Halo, Mister.
Hello. Am I audible?
Oke. Oke. Baiklah, untuk mempersingkat waktu, ya langsung saja kepada Mr. Trisnendri untuk membawakan materinya. Time is yours.
Well, thank you very much for having me. And a special thank to the moderator. Thank you very much for reading my CV. And also, I'm very nice to meet everyone here in the Zoom. And greeting to everyone who are coming to the room and see the activity through offline platform. I'm so happy to meet everyone here, and I also heard that people that I met here are actually students who are eager to teach, who want to teach English, and who want to take their self to taking part in teaching English for other people. So I'm so happy to be here. Thank you very much. To start or to kick off this presentation, I would like to inform that I'm going to present in English. So if there's anyone want to ask a questions, please drop a question in the chat box, or later, if you also want to have a question, you can keep it later at the end of my presentation. So before I get started, please allow me to do my share screen. Okay, I believe it's visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, so for today, I've been asked to talk about how to create and initiate fun speaking activities, okay? So some of you may thinking that why it should be a speaking goes to be fun activities. One is not go to grammar. Grammar is so difficult to work with. And then I think grammar is need to be a little touch of fun rather than speaking activities. Later, I will explain to you why that's very urgent to make our students speak in the very first place. And if you are an English tutor, that speaking has become, how could I say, one of the most important elements, because people will acknowledge you as a teacher when, of course, you're able to explain everything good, not only in Bahasa Indonesia, not only in your language, but also in the topic that you teach. In this case, is English. So that's why, as a teacher, that becoming able to speak English is also very important. And of course, there's also some problems in speaking class as a tutor that we need to acknowledge together. Well, before I got started, please help me to do this. I will change my let's draw. Does anyone here like drawing? If you like, can you please raise your hand in the Zoom? Or maybe you can raise your hand in the room because I still can see you. Anyone here like drawing? Any? None? Okay, very interesting. So wait, I haven't set my time. Okay, so now let me change my share screen into the whiteboard. All right, and I believe that everybody here in the Zoom are able to draw something on your screen. So please, everyone here in the Zoom, if you are able to draw, please draw anything on your on the screen, right? Draw anything, draw anything. And if you are off, but please draw a clear one, yeah, not just a bunch of, you know what I mean, a line or something. And if you are not in the Zoom, please draw something on the, please draw something in your paper. So later I will ask one of you to show it on the camera. So please draw something. If you are in the Zoom, please draw something like, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna draw something like, yeah, this is an ugly drawing. So yeah, oh, thank you very much for giving, yeah, this is a love one, that's very good. Love pictures, okay, Winda is still drawing. Yeah, this is loving alphabet, yeah, ada A di sini. So anyone can draw anything? Oh, this is a fork. Oh, fork, and I believe it's something you want to eat, right? It's a fork, this knife, and also a plate. Ooh, cool. Excuse me. Sorry. Sorry. All right. Yeah. There's a lot of drawing here. So let me ask. Oh, Pabelfin, thank you very much for giving me a coffee here. Bang Bay, you're drawing number 2. And then some people of you are drawing love here, Yusri, and some other. Well, thank you very much for sharing this. So I will stop the share. All right. Yeah, and thank you for, please stop drawing now. Yeah, so the activity that I start or initiate are actually an activity that you can start in your classroom. You can start, ask them to draw. You can ask them to, yeah, to draw something, and then ask them why they draw that. For example, Bunisa drawing about plates, fork, and knife. I believe this is early morning here in Bandung. Yeah, it's quite going to afternoon. Breakfast is a good thing. So Pabelfin with the coffee. It's also a very nice thing to start to kick off the day. And then some of you are also drawing love signs. It means that you love the day. You know what I mean? So you can start your class by ask them to do a simple drawing. It doesn't need to be a very sophisticated drawing. It's just kind of very simple drawing, and then ask them why they draw the particular things. Okay. So why I'm starting this, because as Padadan before stated to us, if you have 16 minutes to teach, if you have 60 minutes to teach, well, basically you only have 50 to 45 minutes to teach, because the rest 15 minutes or the rest 10 minutes are used for situate everything, to make everything's ready. And as a tutor, you need to create something like I did before, for example, drawing. Or what the other word, you need to set up what we call this warming up activities. In speaking, warming up activities is very important. Why I'm saying so? Because we need to warm up the engine. You know what I mean? So when we want to speak something, of course, we need to make everybody ready with the speaking, right? So that's why we really need to initiate a warming up activity. One of which is ask them to draw and tell them what it's all about. All right. I believe this is go from intermediate to advanced. But in the for the beginner, you can just provide the pictures. You can provide the pictures. You can provide a flashcard, and then show them a pictures, and then tell them what what is this for? What do you use it every day or something? Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of activity that you can go with the pictures. However, there's not only a picture that you can use to initiate the opening or the warming up. There are some activities that you can use. First, I think the number one is very common to work with is a tongue twister. So if you want to go with a tongue twister, it's also very good to open your class. Draw me a picture that I did before, and then emoji challenge. You know emoji, right? Emoticons like a smiling face, sad face, crying face, or something like that. You can just show them the pictures, the emoji, and then you tell them, you ask them to express what make them angry, what make them happy, for example. Okay, so yeah, if you can show any emojis that you think you want to initiate in the classroom. And then the alphabet talk. Alphabet talk is very good to start the class as well. What you can do with the alphabet talk is, for example, let's see, can I have Nafi? Hello, Nafi. Are you with me? Hello, Nafi Ihsan. Hello. All right, Nafi, can you find something around you start with N? Nafi, can you, or anyone there, can you help Nafi to find something around her that start with N?
Yes, can.
Yes. What do you have? Start with N. You can find?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. So how about my name? Start with T. T. This Nandri is T. Can anyone please help me to find something start with T around you?
Me, sir. Me.
Yeah, well, what is that? What is your things?
I have a table.
A table, that's very good. So there is a good opening, right? You find table, and then what's table for?
The table for, you can use it for a lot of things. First, you can write, you can put anything on the top of it.
Yes.
Then, yeah,
Thank you.
Sorry.
That
Thank
is
you,
what
sir.
I said with the alphabet talk. Jadi, you choose any items, start with your first name of the alphabet of your first name. The alphabet of your names, all right? For example, if your name is Anissa, you can find anything with A. If your name is Husna, you can find anything with H. If you are Yusri, so you can find something start with Y. So there's what we call this an alphabet talk. So this is a very good to start the class. Yeah, it's not a good, but it's an alternative for you to start the class. All right. So now let's work with the tongue twister. I have 3 tongue twister here. Anyone want to try to read one of them?
Can I try, sir?
Is it what is your name again? Sorry.
Muhammad Zainuddin.
Okay, Zainuddin, right? So you can
I'm
go with
Zainuddin.
number 3, please.
All right. Number 1, number 3.
Number 3.
Number 3. Okay. I try. Not nice night. Nurses nursing nicely.
Can you make it faster?
Okay. Night nurses nursing nicely.
Nice, very good. How about, thank you very much. How about Husna? Hello, Husna, are you there? Okay, or maybe is there anyone in the room there? Okay, Husna's there. Or maybe anyone in the room want to try? Anyone who stay in the classroom offline? Does anyone want to try? If yes, please give the microphone. Yeah, I think the lady in the front. The lady in the front, the middle. Yes. Can you use the microphone of the master of ceremony, or yes, so I can hear you.
I want to try.
Sure. Can you please try number 2?
Number 2.
Yes. Yeah. Or maybe number 1?
Yes, I want number 1, Mr.
Okay, you want number 1. Okay, go ahead with number 1.
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Can you make it faster, please?
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Faster?
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Faster?
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Faster?
Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream.
Thank you. Applause for the lady. And then can we go with the number 2? Anyone here want to try number 2? Yeah, the man in the back. The man in the back. The man in the back. I think. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, let's see number 2.
I
thought of thinking of thanking you.
Okay. Can you make it faster?
I thought of thinking of thanking you.
Faster, please.
I thought of thinking of thanking you.
Faster.
I thought of thinking of thanking you.
Thank you very much. Applause for you, the man in the back. Very good. So this is a very interesting to open your classroom anyway. You can find a lot of tongue twister in the internet. So you can just find anything that you think can be very useful for your classrooms, especially for the use of this tongue twister. Okay. So a little corrections. I think this is supposed to be I thought, right? So it pronounced thought. All right. So I thought a thought. Okay. So it's easier to pronounce. So there's the warming up. So in the speaking class, make sure that you set anything to warm up your class. As I mentioned to you before, you can start with the pictures, you can start with the tongue twister, you can start with the alphabet, or you can start with any other games that you think is suitable with your classroom. Right, so let's moving on to the next part. But then what is actually the problems of the speaking? Everyone, when we are working as a tutor or a teacher, the problem in speaking is always been opportunities. Everyone, I believe here know what is opportunities, right? So some students maybe have, for example, here, Zainuddin or speak more than others, right? Because Zainuddin trying to open the bigger opportunity, right? As a teacher, you need to make sure that everyone, not only Zainuddin in the classrooms, but everyone in this classroom have a similar opportunity to express their speaking, right? So you need to make sure that everyone in your class are able and have a similar chance or opportunity to speak in the classrooms. Please don't only point out some people who are already good, or maybe please don't say that we have a limited time, so then only half of the people can speak in the classroom, okay? So when you are teaching speaking, you need to provide an equal opportunity for everyone in the classrooms, right? So beside opportunities, let's just trying to work with this, okay? I hope that you can listen to the audio that I'm gonna play as well. Wait with shares, okay? Sebentar. Give me a moment, please. So,
Hi, teacher. Hey.
Is that audible? Can you hear the recording?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so let us start again from the beginning.
Hey. I have a doubt.
Okay,
and
but it's not doubt, it's doubt. The B is silent.
B is silent?
Yeah, it's like debt.
Debt.
When you have a T after the B is silent.
Oh, okay. So it will be subtitles.
No, it's subtitles. That's an exception.
Exception?
Yeah.
Like subtle?
No, it's subtle. Like
Subtle?
doubt and debt.
Are you
Yeah,
serious?
silent B.
Oh.
Anyways, what did you do yesterday?
Yeah, I had to call the plumber.
Plumber, silent B.
Plumber?
Yeah.
And okay, whatever. And after that, I went climbing and
No. It's silent B again. Look. When we have the B after the M, the B is silent.
Oh! So number is number.
No, that's an exception. It's number, actually. Exceptions, you know.
You know what? I'm done.
No, come on, Nab.
I feel so dumb. I'm done with that.
It's actually dumb.
Hi, teacher.
All right. So there's the other problem that we have in English, especially for the speaking, right? English is pretty complex, right? So I can beat that. All right. So that's complexity. It should be minimized and simplified by us as a teacher, right? So we as a teacher need to simplify that. We need to provide a lot of opportunities, a lot of practice, so then our students able to improve their capacity in speaking English. Okay, so please later, if you then become a tutor, provide a lot of opportunities for your students to speak, each of them, right? But then the question is, sir, we have a lot of people, but we only have an hour. How could we manage that? So hopefully on my next slide, I can give you some alternative to that. So before I continue, everyone, is my English understandable? Am I understandable? So you understand everything that I say?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. All right. So I hope that everybody shares the same feeling. All right. Again, if you have a problem with listening to my explanation, simply unmute yourself or just raise your hand. I will be very happy to rearrange things. Right. So it's just later than 6. So let's moving on a bit faster. So in the speaking activity, here I'm going to share you some ideas that I ever done in my class. So it probably become one of the alternatives for you to teach in your speaking class later on when you become a tutor. This activity that I share can be ranged from a beginner to an advanced. So it's depending on you and depending on the material that you're trying to provide. Let's start with the first things. So if you work with the digital things, so Pa Dadan before mentioned to you that in creating a lesson plan, please involve technology there. And I'm also going to say that if you previously have a problem in time because the time is so short and because the numbers of the students a lot, this technology can help you a lot to overcome that problem, right? The first thing that I'm gonna use is the use of Padlets. So please go to Google and then type down Padlets, and then you go with the Padlets, and then you sign in with your Google account, and then you can go to something like this on the screen. Here, this is one of my university that I teach. In this, I have more than 50 students. So there's a lot of students, and then I teach one of the skills that I teach is speaking. So it's impossible for me to listen them one by one in the classrooms. So that's why I use this part for their speaking journals, right? The other things here, like what is in your opinion, it's also used for in the university that I teach, and also a speaking activity that I usually use in my class. I usually ask them to upload the pictures, and then they talk about the pictures, why they choose the pictures. For example, here the guy chose Naruto picture, and then he asks, and then I asked him to explain about why Naruto, what is Naruto, how about Naruto's life, what some sort of jurus that Naruto can make, for example. So yeah, we can do a lot of activity here in the Padlets. And the other one, this is very interesting. I mentioned on the chat box. I just noticed in the chat box that some of you mentioning we have a beautiful islands in Gili Trawangan and so on and so on, right? So if you want to go with something like that, you also can go with Padlets. Padlet can pin you out several places that very beautiful in Indonesia and outside of Indonesia. And then you can just ask them to describe what are the places about, what is some attraction that we can do there, what some sort of time we should go there. Is it on the summer or is it in the winter? Is it on December, August, or July, or any month? So you can explain everything there in the Padlets. And again, it doesn't need to be an individual one by one coming front. You can just ask them to record their voices and then upload it in the Padlet so everyone can hear it. Right? So this is very interesting because again, that we give them an opportunity, right? They can just speak anytime they want. They can speak anything they want. Okay. So this is an ideas that you can use Padlet. You can start with describing pictures, place, people. Okay, so you can go with this. You can talk about personal experience there. For example, that talking about the past, talking about your best holiday with the pictures. You also can work with that. You also can work with pronunciation ways there in the Padlets. So I believe what Paradan said is also very correct, that this is all about introductory. So if you need to go further, we can probably have more time and more opportunity to meet further to talk about this. Probably me, Pa Belvin, Bunisa, and Paradan can fly to NTB to meet you in person. So we can share a lot of things together with you in persons there, right? I believe that's going to be very interesting to meet everyone there in person. Right, Padadan, Pa Belvin, Bunisa? Yeah, let's moving on more. Yeah, pronunciation ways, you can work with some activities there, right? So for example, you can put one word and then they record under their names and then they upload. If it's correct, they can continue to another word and so on and so on and so on. So then everyone racing for their correct pronunciations. Moreover, you also can create a gallery walk. Gallery walk means that you can upload like 10 pictures in the Padlet. You choose, you upload 10 pictures in the Padlet, and then you can just ask them to choose which one they really love the most, why they choose that, and then ask them to describe. I think there's also very interesting things that you can do in Padlet. Next, yeah, I will skip this. The other part is the Vokaru. So Vokaru is I will try to copy paste the link to you in the chat box. So yeah, Vokaru are actually what? Okay. So yeah, the Vokaru. So that's the Vokaru that I share to you. So Vokaru is an actually recording platform, right? So you can record anything in the Vokaru. It's just simply like voice note in WhatsApp. But imagine that if you use a voice note over and over again, so it's going to dry out it's going to dry up your memories, right, on your phone or anything, or on your tablets, your laptop. Vokaru is an online recording application that when your students try it, they just need to share the link, right? So link basically I have a small bandwidth, right? So it's very simple. You just need to go to Vokaru, record anything you want recorded, re-record if you think it's not good, and then send the link to any platform that you use. Why I say any platform? Because yeah, as the nature of the link, it can be shared to anything. You can share it to WhatsApp, you can share it to Padlet, Google Docs, Google Slides, or anything, or any platform that your teacher used. So you can use a Vokaru to record anything, especially for your speaking activity, right? Why I did before is I use Vokaru for my Padlets. So here, if you can see here, I asked them to record on Vokaru, upload them, and then put them some rank here, like stars or like. They can collect stars, they can collect likes, like in other social medias, you know. So it's very interesting to work with Padlet and Vokaru as well. So yeah, this is Vokaru. So, and then please work with your social media. Use your Instagram, use your TikTok, use your YouTube for a teaching platform. For example, you can ask your student to upload something in Reels or upload something in what they say in Instagram, like in a short post yang hilang 24 hours, you know. So something like that. So what's the name of that? Why I forgot the name of that. What is the name of social media Instagram post that's gone only for 24 hours?
Real?
In what? Reels is a bit longer. Post?
Story. I think story.
Story, yeah, story.
Yeah,
Sorry, yeah,
story,
that's it.
Story.
Yeah, stories. Yeah, Instagram stories. You can make an Instagram stories. Yeah, you can ask them to make a very short stories. Stories is only like 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds or one minute, right? So yeah, you can just use stories or TikTok, for example. Like I just found in TikTok like this. Let's try another duet. You gray, I'm blue, for example. So yeah, you can just make this kind of activities, or maybe you can just ask your students to make this so they can practice their speaking as well in their social medias. Moving forward, there's some method, what we call this the 4-3-1 method. 4-3-1 method is found by some, I forgot, it's an American linguist, I think. Yeah, 4-3-1 means speak for 4 minutes and then reduce to 3 minutes and then reduce to 1 minute with same topic. For example, please talk about your favorite holiday in 4 minutes, and then please talk about your favorite holiday in 3 minutes, and then please speak about your favorite holiday in 1 minute. Okay, so 4-3-1, not 1-3-4, yeah, but 4-3-1. Why? It is very important. It's good to work with because it can help to develop your fluency and the ability to talk in a natural way and able to reduce too many pauses in your speaking later at the end. Okay, so it's 4-3-1 method, also something that you can use, yeah? Next, you also can play a board games like Ular Tangga or maybe Halma or anything that you've been modified for teaching. It's very easy because you can also find the templates free in the internet. For example, you can find the templates in the Pinterest, or you can simply find the template in the Google search by adding word templates. For example, Ular Tangga templates or Halma templates or board game templates, and then it just simply pop up on your search, right? So yeah, you can play a board game. It's very interesting to play games and to play board games. For example, in the first box, you write down like your favorite foods. If your student hit that part, so they need to talk about their favorite foods. Yeah, it's very simple board games. The other ideas that I may share you is this is the board games. And then later, if you are become a tutor, as Padadan said before, you need to also work with some assessment. And speaking, you also need to provide the speaking rubrics. There's a lot of alternatives on the speaking rubrics, but please, if you do make rubrics, please make it with these elements. First, you need to inform your students your standard and your expectation. You need to just tell them what you want them to do, and then please make sure the level of the achievement, right? So, for example, I want you to be able to speak like in 1 minute, and then I want you to be able to speak in what standards, all right? So please go with, if you want to give some feedbacks, please make it to a very specific areas that need to be improved. For example, that if your students are weak in pronunciations, highlight what pronunciation are actually low, and then you just give them obvious and clear feedbacks on that particular words. Or if their weaks are actually in the fluency, you can also give some feedbacks on the fluency to help them having better fluency, right? So please, if later you want to have a feedback or assessment, make it covering these 3 elements. Later, this is some what could I say? Some alternative for you to go with rubrics, pronunciation, fluency, syntax, and so on and so on. This is an informal rubrics that you can go with. This is spontaneous rubrics that you can go with. and some other rubrics that you can also find in the internet. Later, I will share the file also to the committee so you can have it. And yeah, this is a situated rubric, so you also can go with this rubric. But the most important is among the rubrics is feedback. Please provide any feedbacks for your students. Your speaking, I think your speaking is very good, but please work with some vocabularies. For example, that you mispronunciation of that, or so on and so on. Okay, so please provide any as clear as possible feedback for your students. Feedback can become from a teacher, also can be from a peer or from students. So the very easy way from students is, again, you can use Padlets so that everyone can listen to other students so they can give some comments and there. So peer feedback is there. But remember, teacher feedback is also very important. But please, guys, highlight to a positive feedback. What do I mean by positive feedbacks? I mean positive language, right? Don't say something like, I think you mispronounce on this. So please don't say that. Rather than say you mispronounce on this, you can say, well, I think you can pronounce this word with this. Jadi jangan disebutkan you wrong in this, but state the correct version of the pronunciation. So that's what we call this a positive one, right? So and there's some tips before I end the classrooms. In the speaking, everyone, if you want to initiate a speaking class, please use a meaningful and relevant topic. So choose a topic that make your students understand, that very familiar with your students. Next, also please use a scaffolded practice. Scaffolded practice is practice with the stages. Don't directly ask students to speak 7 minutes without giving them some training on their pronunciation. Before, ask them to build some sentences, for example. Do scaffolding, do stages from easy to hard, something like that. And then please use authentic materials, for example, videos, pictures. Don't put too much imaginations there. So please, real materials. Like, yeah, if you want to ask them to watch video, ask them to watch video, see pictures, and so on and so on. And initiate collaboration. Then don't only make them to speak alone. You can just ask them to speak in pairs, or you can just ask them to speak in group, all right? And as mentioned to you before, please provide the feedback. Again, please incorporate digital tools because it's going to help you a lot of things, including to save the times and everything, okay? And please provide model and provide example, all right? So if you want to ask them to, if you ask them to talk about favorite places, so please do let them watch people to talk about that topic, okay? So students or people always need an example. So please provide a good example and model on that. And please remember this, set a clear instructions and objectives. You need to provide a clear instruction, what they should do first, second, third, fourth, and so on and so on. And please create a clear objective so they know what goal they need to achieve. 1 more minute left. And then the last quote for me, speaking class is about process, not a goal. So help your students to grow, not help them to make a score. That will be end for me. Thank you very much. 30 minutes.
Can we have any questions, sir? Can we have just one question?
I believe that will be opened by the moderator. Okay. Oh, but you can just start.
Sorry.
Yeah, back to moderator.
Yes, sir. Sorry.
No problem.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Give applause to our speaker today. Okay, the next is Q&A. Ya, silahkan bagi teman-teman yang ingin bertanya di sini silahkan angkat tangan.
Can I have a question, sir?
Sebentar, ini di offline dulu ya. Dari offline dulu. Ya, Mr. Samsudin.
is it only me or the audio hasn't started?
Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yes, Mr. Because we talk about speaking, and before that, I think the first important is pronunciation. And I want to ask, because when I study English, and we have to, when we read, we confuse what the pronunciation. So my question is, are we have to memorize vocabularies one by one, or is there method to now the pronunciation without we memorize one by one? I mean, to make it clear, usernation. Ketika kita
sorry, I got it. I got the questions.
Okay, thank you, sir. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much. All right, moderator, can I give a direct answer?
Okay, maybe directly you answer, Mr.
Yes, thank you very much. Well, there will be no speaking without listening. There will be no good pronunciation without listening pronunciations. So if you want to have a very good pronunciations, make sure that you listen more, right? So you don't need to, I don't think you need to memorize every single word, because it's going to take time. That's so demanding and so difficult to work with. So what you're going to do, what you have to do is, on my recommendations and my experience, is that you can just listen to various things on your, you can listen to a lot of things. You can listen to music, you can watch movies, you can watch a talk show, listen to the podcast, listen how they pronounce the word. And of course, after you process in your mind, you need to practice when you're speaking. You need to practice it later on. So, but the most important things, on my opinion, is you need to be, you need to have a lot of exposure, right? Listen more, right? So listen more, listen to native speaking, trying to adapt them then later. So yeah, I think that will help you to engage, to develop your pronunciation. So start with listen more, listen, and listen. So you understand how to differentiate, pronounce this, and so on and so on, right? And then for some application that you can use, first you can use application called Orai application. You can download it in the Google Play or in anything, yeah, in any platform. Orai, O-R-A-I, so it's Orai. You also can use some PPT practice. Yeah, I will. Yeah, Orai, O-R-A-I, right? So O-R-I, so Orai application. So in Orai application, they will help you to score your pronunciations, your speeds, and so on and so on. And you also can use a coach, Microsoft PowerPoint coach. So if you speak to Microsoft PowerPoint coach, that coach will give you score, and then will give you some advice to develop your speaking, including your pronunciation. So listen more and then practice more will help to build your pronunciations. I think that would be the answer for me.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, any questions else? Yes, Miss Ofta.
Okay, directly. My question is, when I want to speak in front of an audience, often the material that I have prepared lost from my mind. And what I want to say can't come out of my mouth, even though I have prepared and practiced it for a long time. So how do I overcome this problem? I mean, solve. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. So your question will be in the perspective of students here, and as teachers. Well, in the perspective of the students. So I will come back to my statement earlier that practice is very important. If you already prepare everything, okay, so yeah, well, I think the practice, it will be very important. Okay, so if you are already prepared everything, but then you forgot on something, so there's a lot of strategy to work with that. First, one alternative is you need to do a more practice. The more practice, the merrier. right? So you need to do more practice. You need to trying to understand everything, the topic that you're going to discuss about. So, and then practice again and again, right? And then to make it also not easy to be forgotten about your topic, as Padiden mentioned, I think split into chunk to a very clear split. For example, only speak this for 5 minutes, only speak this for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. The split of the topic will be easier for you to remember, and then it will be easier for you to speak later. So please make your topic in chunk, in a small bite, right? And then yeah, sometimes when people hard to speak is just because we probably we face some psychological issue, like we're nervous, we're afraid of making mistakes or something. So that psychological stuff also need to be considered. And then I think that every individual have a different way to encounter them. For example, that I'm personally always need to drink a lot of water before I speak, because it makes me calm and make me relax. And when I'm calm and I'm relaxed, everything will be very easier for me to work with. So for example, is Mbak Okta easier if, for example, going to toilets make you a little more comfortable, please do so, because it will reduce the tension. So then everything that you have in your mind will easily come up or pop up in your mouth. So I hope that's not answering that much. So we can learn further later. I think I have a questions from the Zoom. Well, the question in the Zoom talking about the American and the UK style, which one is better? Well, I'm not saying that American or British, which one is better or one of them. Both of them are preferable, but the most important for us as a non-native speaker is to speak as fluent, as understandable as possible. Regarding whether we speak American or British, that the most important things is our interlocutor or our co-partner in speaking understand us. I think that's the most important one. Yes, do we have another questions? I think Pak Zainuddin want to ask the questions.
Okay.
Yeah, excuse me. Thank you so much for the time. My question is, so I want our student, a college student in Universitas of Nahdlatul Ulama Mataram, and I found a lot of students in my village, especially in my village, in my school, they were shy to try to speak English. You know? Even in the first time when we met them, and then we asked them normally when we teach them, we always ask them to repeat after us or repeat after me, and then they will feel very shy for that, and they laugh. When they try to speak, they will laugh. My question is, do you have any solution for that? I mean, special things maybe we had to do for that? Thank you so much, sir.
Well, they're pretty challenging. Something that we need to understand is we need to know who our students is, why they want to learn English, why they purpose in learning English. After we knowing them about that, we believe that we can initiate any activities to make them enjoy in speaking, right? So, Pak Zainuddin, so the first thing that we have to do is we need to understand our students. If they laugh, for example, before you to repeat, or they say that laughing and speaking English, we need to understand why they're laughing, right? So we need to understand why they're laughing. If they're shy, for example, or maybe why they actually shy? Because they don't have capacity on that, right? So we need to start in the very ground things, right? You need to make them happy first about the language that they learn. Right? So if you teach, if they don't have any motivations to learn, they don't have any eagerness to learn, the first thing that you need to work with is that. Okay. So I think that's my answer.
So the point is we have to build self-confidence with them.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate
it. Thank you very much. I believe that Pa Belfin and Bunisa later will explain various things.
Thank you so much.
So yes,
appreciate that.
Moderator, I think that will be Anthony.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next question from Mr. Ihsan.
Well, can we post the questions for the other presenters, because we have another two presenters waiting. So I think that Bunisa and Pablo also can wait more to present the topic to discuss, right? So I think that will be the end for me, Miss Moderator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Trisnendri. Give applause to our great speaker today.
Thank you very much.
Okay, the next material will be delivered by our speaker, Miss Nusratun Nisa. Yeah. Before that, I will be Miss Nusratunisa Zapar SS, become English teacher, community from 2019 until present, become the Kelas Kreatif Indonesia, and work experience 2015 until present, English teacher tells. Yeah, next 2010 until 2015 become English teacher LBPP LIA Tasik. Next 2004 until 2010 become English teacher ILP Buah Batu Bandung. Next Miss Nusratunisa Zapar SS become English teacher, education background English studies program, Faculty of Cultural Science, University Padjadjaran, Ran and Technicus in the teaching of English as foreign language. Yeah. Teacher training program ILP International Language Program Jakarta. Give applause first. Oke, Miss Nusratunisa akan membawakan materi tentang game for language teaching. Ya, game for language teaching. Oke, to our great speaker today, time is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, moderator. Could you hear my voice? Could you just ignore the background? Let me check. Okay, is my voice loud enough for you? Or
Yes, Miss.
Yes, Miss. Yes, Miss.
okay,
It's clear.
okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Nice to meet you. So, still feeling energized? Hope the music behind me energize you. Okay, let's check. I would like you to turn on the camera and also unmute yourself. Okay. Now, you can also unmute yourself. Okay. If you still feel energized, please clap your hands and say, hooray! Can I hear that? 1, 2, 3. I cannot hear your sound. 1, 2, 3. Hooray! Okay. So if you are already bored, you can wave and say help. Okay, Miss Anissa is bored. Miss Nafi is bored. Oh, okay.
We're still on
No
fire.
problem. Don't worry.
We're still on fire.
Okay. Okay. So being energized, being in the mood, enthusiastic, okay, is one of the things that you need to apply when you are going to use this topic in your classroom. So my topic today will be about using games for teaching language. So allow me to share my screen. An introduction. This one. Okay, I hope everyone already can see my screen sharing.
Yes, Miss. Yes. It's clear.
Okay. Split. Oh, wait. Let me stop my other PowerPoint. Okay. Uh, there you go. Okay, so for today, I'm going to share what I have experienced during my work as a teacher, the games for language teaching. This is only an introduction part. So today I'm going to talk about 5 things, okay, the benefits of games in teaching language, and then the objectives. Okay. Of course, if you are going to apply or to give games in the classroom, like what Pak Dadan and Pak Tris have mentioned, you need to do the preparation. And then in games, the same, you have to also pay attention to how you are going to execute the procedures. And then the last one is the tips. So let's go to the benefits. What are the benefits of games in class teaching? In teaching languages. Okay. There have been many studies proven that games are very beneficial in learning English or in learning other languages. Why? Of course, it will increase students' fluency and learning skill. Okay, so today I'm going to highlight only three benefits of games in teaching language. It can, in general, it can lower the barrier, break the ice, like earlier mentioned by Pak Tris and Pak Dadan. Based on your questions too, when you give the assignment to the students and then the students feel shy, do not want to participate. So what do? You can use games. Besides increase students' motivation, attention, focus, and etc. Basically, it will increase students' fluency and learning skill, the target language that you want to teach. And then also, one of the most important thing is these games provide opportunity for real communication. Because in games, you don't only just use the target language you are taught, but also you use the game languages, the terms, okay, like excuse me, my turn, etc. Those are the language expression that students will later use in their real communication, in their real text. The last and the most important thing, and why games are important in our class, because they serve as a diagnostic tools for teachers, for us to know how far our students understand our lesson or how good we have been teaching them or how bad we have been teaching them. Okay, so these are the three benefits that can come from giving games in the classroom. Next, after the benefits, we are going to talk about the objectives. What are the objectives of giving games in your classroom? Basically, you can use games as a pre-teach. If this is the first time for the lesson, you want to help the students to be able to use some of the vocabularies, okay, some of the nouns or adjectives that you are going to use in your target language presentations, or is it going to review the lesson? If it is going to review, it means like this is like the second meeting of the same target language. When you decide whether you are going to use the game for pre-teach or review, you need to identify the need. You cannot put all the target language, the vocabulary in the games. You have to identify the need first, and you have to list the priority. Okay, which one you want to focus first, and which one is students can do it. Students can learn it by themselves. And the next, this is also important. Games is not just for the sake of the game itself. It's just not for fun, just for fun. It should be learning and fun. It should be integrated into your syllabus, into your lesson plans. Okay, I think what Pak Tris and Pak Dadan mentioned earlier, like in speaking games, in planning and engaging lesson plans, you need to integrate some games, some activities into the syllabus, into your lesson plan. For example, this is the pre-teach. So this is the first time you are going to give a new lesson. For example, the objective is to be able to talk about finished events with time detail. The target language is simple past tense. In the previous meeting, you have focused on regular verb. So now you are going to focus on irregular verb. Because there are a lot of irregular verbs, of course, you want your students to be familiar. But you cannot use all the irregular verbs directly into your games. That will be dragging too long and boring. So you will lose the magic of the games. So the material is the irregular verb too. Okay, this one I'm going to focus on the most frequent irregular verb too, like go, to, when, do, did. These are the frequent words, irregular verb too. And then you can choose or select some of the irregular verbs that have the same letters, same sounds, like cut, cut, hit, hit. And then same letters, different sounds. Okay, read, read. Or the same combination, like drive, drove, ride, rode. Okay, you choose not all the verbs. Yeah, just 5, depends on how long you have. Okay, and next, the form of the verb to completely different, like eat, ate, leave, left, etc. So this can be used as the material for your games, as a pre-teach, yeah, in the beginning of new lesson. However, if you have already teach the regular, irregular verb to, simple past tense, okay, now you want to review, you want to check, okay, you want to check whether your students are already able to use the verb to correctly. Okay, so the same, talking about finished events with the time detail. Here you have thought, simple past tense, irregular verb to, regular verb to, the sentence, positive sentence, negative, question, etc. And okay, the problem is your class is big class. You have large number of students, but you have limited room space and minimum movement. So you cannot do a lot of physical activities, TPR, like what Padadan mentioned. Okay, so what do you do? What kind of games? You can choose many games that do not need a lot of movements. You don't need a lot of arranging the furniture. Okay, you can do chain story plus bingo. Okay, you can find out, search what is a chain story, what is a bingo later on. Yeah. Okay, and what do? The material, you need prompts, the regular and irregular verb too. So you need the prompts like, beside the verb, you need the prompts of time marker, you need the prompts of mixed verb with the regular or irregular verb too, and you need to decide whether you want the students to do the positive, negative, and question. Okay. Here, can be used to the same like earlier. If you remember the benefits, the last benefit is games can be used for teachers to assess their students' fluency, their students' ability. Okay, if when completing the games, whether pre-teach or review, you see that, oh, my students cannot, many of my students cannot complete the games. Why? Then that becomes your feedback. What do you have to do the next meeting? Okay. Next, after the objectives, we are going to talk about this one, the longest part of giving games in the classroom. Many of us think, oh, if you give games in the classroom, it means it's an easy thing. Okay, you just come to the class, okay, let's play game. No, turn out behind the scene, so many things that you have to prepare. And then during the scene, you have also a lot of things that you have to do. Okay, so in preparation, you need to consider the time. Okay, like Padadan mentioned earlier, you have 1 minute, 1 hour session. How are you going to allocate? Okay, how many hours, hours, how many minutes are you going to allocate for presentation, for practice, for production, and from all those stages, how many minutes are you going to allocate for games? Okay. Right. Then games can be done in the beginning of the lesson, during the lesson, or at the closing of the lesson. Or one activity of like speaking activities done mentioned by Patrice. Okay, you need to warm up. Can be done by game. Okay, so time. Think about time before you integrate. When you are making lesson plan, okay, how are you going to integrate the games into your lesson plan? Means you have to think about the time. This one is also important. Class characteristic based on the age. Okay, you may teach the same topic, simple class for children, for adult, for ibu-ibu, okay, for college students. But of course, the materials that you are going to give will be different. Okay, if for college students, you can have word like have a date, call my girlfriend. But you cannot do that. You cannot use that words. You cannot use that material for children. Okay. So the class characteristic, age, fluency, definitely. Next one, culture. Culture has something to do with how you are going to execute games. What kind of games you want to choose. An example. I used before now, so I used to teach in Bandung, and then I moved to Tasik. The topic's the same, but the culture different. In Bandung, it is not a problem between male and female students to mingle, to touch, just tap or run together as that. But when I first moved to Tasik, male and female students, they have distance. So there you have to determine, okay, can I use this game? If I want to use this game that require physical touch, how I going to modify it? Class characteristic. Okay, then after you find out your time, how much you have, your class characteristic, choose the types of games. Okay, I'm going to show. Okay. Okay, so preparation is like putting a robot. Start with your base, and then your legs, your foot, and then your part of body, and go on and go on. So I mentioned the number of students. Yeah, how many students you have? Only 10 to 100. Age, fluency, culture, space, and furniture. You also have to think about that, because how are you going to manage games that require physical movement if your classroom is full of furniture, big tables? Okay, and okay. This one, types of games. From the simple one, the one that you don't really need a lot of prompts, realia, or aids, from memory games. But of course, you still need to prepare something. Okay, guessing games, matching, board game, and card. Board game has been mentioned by Patrice earlier. Yeah. Okay, role play. Okay, this is also done in speaking activities. How are you going to warm up a role play? Quiz. This is also a part of games and other things. At the end of so now after you do after you chose the suitable games for you for your class, you have the body. Okay. After you choose the suitable types of games, you need to think about what you need to prepare. The realia, the aids, whether you need a ball, you need paper, okay? And rewards and punishment. Most of the games are competitive games. So of course you need to reward your students. Do rewards always have to be in a form of object, concrete object? No. For children, sometimes beside candies, you can give stars. But what about adults, adult classes? Well, adults also love chocolate. I love still chocolate. I still love candies. I will be happy to get candies if I win a game. Why not? But the most important thing is you give feedback, positive feedback, like Patrice mentioned. Wow, good job! You got it! Hooray! Rewards. What about punishment? Okay. Do you have, if the team that lose, you will ask them to stand in front of the class? Punishments, in my opinion, does not punishment do not have to be humiliating. It must not be humiliating. It must all rewards and punishment must be agreed, must be consented by the whole students. Some punishments are fun, like I asked the team that lose, they have to go to different classes and they have to sing. Of course, they are in a group and I will accompany them. So that punishment is fun. Okay, so nobody feel, oh, I lost. Oh no, I will be humiliated. I will be embarrassed. No. Okay, so you can think about rewards and punishment. Next one. This is also the fun part. Grouping. How are you going to group your students? Because types of games, they are, some of them are individual games, they are group games, they are the whole class games. So how are you going to group? Are you going to say, okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, you with you? No. Make it fun, quick, clear. Examples, what I like to do is to use, if I have to divide the class into two big groups, I will say dangdut, dangdut, dangdut. Oh, I'm dang and I'm dut. And then when you do the game, okay, dang win. So dut lose. Oh, sorry, dangdut. What else? TikTok. Okay. If you are talking about famous people, okay, remember, integrate, connect your games into your lesson plan. For example, okay, I think this is what I come up. You are talking about famous people. You can also divide the groups using famous people. Okay, I think the last famous people trend is Aldi Taher, yeah, that he registered from two different parties. So you can connect. Okay, Aldi Taher, 4 groups, or 2 Aldi Taher, or other Sule. Oh, everyone will be happy. Okay, grouping, make it fun, make it quick. Okay, last one. Think about the potential problems and solutions. Think ahead. What kind of problems you can you will meet, you will face? Technical problem. How are you going to, what kind of technical problem? Are you going to use radio? Are you going to use LCD projector? What kind of technical problem can arise? So before that, you have to familiarize yourself with your laptop, with your mobile phone, with the other electronic gadgets you use. That's the easiest one, technical problem. The most difficult one is like when you don't have, when you have low motivated students, low esteem students, students who are actually capable but shy. How are you going to deal with that? This is what you have to think about. Okay, when you choose a game. Okay, oh, that's why you have to be familiar with your students. Okay, in this class, I have A, who is actually capable, but he is shy. Okay, so what can I do? Oh, I can ask, okay, call his name. Okay, you will be there. You can put him, okay. But of course, college student, okay, there will be other session to talk about this aspect. So, the end, meaning you have the foot and then you have the body, you have the grouping, and then there you go. Finally, you have the whole part of the games that you are going to apply in your classroom. Now, the D-Day. What are you going to do? After preparation, you need to think about how are you going to execute your games, the procedure. So basically, there are 6 steps if you are going to apply games in the classroom. First, lead in. Lead in is like a bridge. For example, this is a pre-teach. New lesson. The class start. Okay, student, let's go game. Let's have game. Don't do that. So when you come to the class, don't forget to greet your students. Hi, how are you? And find questions that can help you to lead to your games and your target language presentation. Okay, then oh yeah, nice. Okay, so shall we have a game? Shall we do some games? Okay, because now I'm hungry. Our lesson is about, don't mention what our lesson about, but in quote, our lesson is about food. Okay, let's play some games. Okay, everyone, can you make a group of 3 because I'm going to divide you into coffee, pizza, and ice cream. Coffee, pizza, ice cream. Coffee, pizza, ice cream. Okay, lead in. Then give instruction. The instruction, like what you have to do, what the students have to do. The instructions should be in order. Okay, so after you tell the students, okay, I'm going to divide you into 3 groups. Okay, if I point you, you have to say pizza. The next person will have coffee. The next person will say ice cream, pizza. You can randomly, or if you think that your students usually sit in groups, right? You want to separate them. Okay, so you can do that in order. Ice cream, pizza, coffee, ice cream, pizza. Okay, ice cream with ice cream, pizza with pizza. Okay, instruction clear. After they are in a group, then don't say, okay, the loser is going to be punished. No, tell the order. Okay, so today we are going to talk, we are going to play some guessing. I'm going to draw. Okay, but if you say I'm going, it's tiring. So one of your friend is going to come to the front. Okay, and I will give a piece of paper with the name of food there, name of dishes there. Then your friend will draw. Then you have to guess, yeah. Okay, the other groups, okay. So kan 3 groups, yeah. While team pizza play, the other have to pay attention. The other have, because you can guess. Okay, group pizza start. Okay, group ice cream. Please please be responsible with timer, yeah. Only 10 seconds. Okay, 10 seconds. And group ice cream, pizza. Okay, coffee. Coffee. You have to decide to write down the score. So. Okay, what you have to do? You are like a coach, an umpire. Okay, like in a football, yeah. Okay, a coach, umpire, wow, teacher. Instruction, then check their understanding. Don't say, do you understand? Stand, no. Paraphrase. Okay, so, okay, how many students will come to the front to see the writing form? How many? All of you? No, just one. Who is going to time? Your group? No, the other group. Checking understanding. If your students still confused, okay, have a demo. Have a demo. Okay, you do this. Okay, pay attention the others. Okay, then check the understand. After the demo, check their understanding. Okay, don't ask, do you got it? No, don't do that. Okay, so what do you have to do? The representative, draw. When the students already understand, already given the demo, start, monitor, assess. Don't just, okay, do, start. No, ask the student, are you ready? Okay, group pizza. Okay, then what do you do? Sit, drink coffee, or okay, you do it, yeah. Let me go to the next classroom because I have a gossip that I need to talk with Pak Tris, Pak Belvi, and Pak Dadan. Yeah, okay, you do it. Okay, no, you need to monitor. While you monitor, because some of them, when the students use Indonesian for the language game language like aku say me, giliran aku, kamu salah, ya salah, so correct them directly. You can say, not aku, not saya, me. Okay, so they repeat, me. So that when you monitor and you correct, give feedback, what they have to use, okay, during the games, it remember the second benefit is that they are able to use, because games provide real communication language. Then later on, somehow, okay, they will able, okay, while talking, yeah, it's me. Oh, you're wrong. Wait, my turn. Okay, it will show sometime, one day. And the last, assess. Here, the third benefit is that you use games as the diagnostic tool. You are able to identify which students still weak, which students already master the lesson, which students need to be pushed, not pushed to the cliff, yeah, push because the student's shy, etc. Assess, and then stop. When do you stop? You stop when the fun is at its peak. Okay, when the fun is at its peak. Ada saat lagi rame-ramenya. Oke, kalau udah ketahuan, you already know who wins, who lose. Okay. So not like, can we use the games for the whole session? Yes, of course. If you are going to review many, but like one game, 30 minutes, that's too long. 5-10 minutes. Of course, in the beginning, it will take times because the students have to understand the instruction, understand what they have to do. But stop when the fun is at its peak. Next, review. Like Pak Tris mentioned earlier, feedback. Positive feedback. Don't say to the lose game, you lose, you are stupid. No, don't do that. I usually prefer to give positive feedback. Identify one thing that the students are able to do that at that moment. For example, I see that, Zainuddin, last time he was shy, but today he is brave enough. So, Zainuddin, good. You are brave today, yeah? You are able to raise your voice. Okay. But let's say Siti Rosida, the last time she always say, saya, aku, giliran aku lah, gitu. But today Siti Rosida say, me, my turn. Give feedback. Good. That is the language that you use as a real communication. Next, review the target language. Okay. Remember, because games are used to review or pre-teach the target language. Okay. Are you successful or not? Okay. So, okay, I have discussed about the benefits, the objectives, the preparation, the procedures. Now, the tips. Sorry. Okay. Tips. Let's go back. How? Okay, choosing already. Thinking about the characters already. Decided the objectives. Yes. Then how? Why? When I execute the games, the students are not motivated. The students are not interested. They look bored. Am I boring? Okay, and one of your students say, yes, miss, you are boring. Okay, so first, voice. Okay, if I say like this, can you hear me? But if I say, hi, can you hear me? Because we are online, yeah. Okay, are you there? Okay, okay. So voice, public speaking. Okay, next, emotion, facial expression. Okay, that will be kind of like waste of time if you come into the class and then you don't show happy, enthusiastic emotion, facial expression. So games should be excited. Games should be exciting. So when, okay, let's start, let's have a game. Students will, how? But okay, let's start, have a game. Or like, wait, okay, let's start, have a game. Oh my God, what happened to Miss Nisa? Okay, so voice, emotion, facial expression. Then what else? Body language. Sometimes in the middle of chaos of games, how are you going to manage the classroom? You can make a rules. So if you use this, it means the students have to be quiet. Okay, you give time, for example, okay, students, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all students must be quiet. Good. Try again. Okay. Your body language. Okay. Okay. How are you going to correct students' mistake? Okay. Not during the game if it is the target language. But if it is in my opinion, the target language can be, the feedback for target language can be done after the games. But if you want to correct the game terms, you can do it directly. So the game terms, like I mentioned earlier, like my turn, whose turn. That's why you have to monitor, walk around, and help. Games is not. Games are not a ready-made building. You need, like Patrice earlier, you need to scaffold. Okay. From the easiest game, the easiest instruction to be understood by the students, to the most difficult. So if you like, okay, in one lesson, in one session, you give 5 games. No. 5 different games? Oh no. 5 same types of games? No. Okay. So like today, one session, one type of games. The next session, you can use the same type of games. Okay, because the students are more familiar. Then several sessions later, you can change the types of games. So the students will learn to understand the new games. So scaffolding. Okay, vary the games. Next, practice, 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 practice. So earlier someone asked, I have written the notes and then, but in the class I forgot. Then the answer is practice, not one time, no. Practice, 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 practice. If you have 1 hour session of teaching, then practice 1 hour teaching. If you have 10-minute games, steps, parts, then practice 10-minute games. Okay, in front of the mirror. If you have, I used to make my nieces and nephews, my little nieces and little nephews to be my victims, guinea pigs. Okay, do that, apply that. Okay, practice, practice, practice. And the last, you can be, after you practice, after you master several games, design your own games, vary your own games. What is it? Modify your game so it can be unique. It's your. Okay. Okay. So I guess that's the tips. Okay. So now, okay, I've talked about the benefits, the objectives, the preparations. If you have any question for the online participants, you can type on the chat box. Okay. Okay, let's have a check. Okay, everyone. I cannot see it. Okay. Same, yeah? If you think the statement is true, clap your hands and say hooray. Yeah.
Hooray.
If you think the statement is false, wave your hand and say help. Okay, let me check. So, if my statement is true, you have to
Hooray.
hooray. Can I hear that, everyone? Okay. If my statement is false, you have to. Okay. Moderator, I need you to check. Let's see. Start with this one. Okay. Okay. Let's start, yeah. Okay, this is a trial. So hopefully I was not speaking to myself earlier. You got some of the things I mentioned. This one. True or false? True, say hooray.
That's true. Hooray.
Hooray. Good. Is it hooray, hooray or help?
Hooray happy.
Hooray happy. Okay. Yes, games can serve as diagnostic tool for teachers. Next one. Hooray or help? Yeah, I can see some of you clapping. Yay! Okay, next one. Clap, hooray! Yay! Next one. Hooray or help?
Hooray. We have to give a demo.
No, it's not a must. Check the students' understanding. If they already understand, then you don't need to give a demo. The second, the third times you give the same games, no need to give the demo. This one.
Hell.
Oh, you don't always have to use the same games, yeah? Okay. So here are the list of references that you can use for games for English as second languages. Okay, but actually it can be done for other kind of languages you want to try. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, that's all from me. Hey, moderator, it's your. Okay.
Okay, once again, give applause to our great speaker today.
Okay.
The next Q&A. Ya, silahkan yang ingin bertanya, silahkan langsung saja angkat tangannya. Oke, sangat banyak sekali. Ya, Miss Nining, silakan. Well, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Now we talk about games for language teaching. So, my question: is there fun game to make our pronunciation better or good pronunciation? Because, this for student in university. Because not student in elementary school. Because even though we was student in university, we still confused about pronunciation. Just.
Okay. So yes, of course, games can be, there are so many games that can be used to practice your pronunciation, your grammar, reading, all kind of games, okay? The books that I put in the PowerPoint will help you to select the pronunciation, okay? I hope that answer. Okay, the next question, one last question, yeah, because we have Pak Belvin after this.
Okay. Yes, Miss Winda, time is yours.
Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Yes, Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Before that, thank you so much for your material, Miss.
You are welcome.
Have explained about what is the purpose, preparation tips about game teaching language. And so my question is, how the game can be used to practice speaking and conversation skills in the language being studied?
Could you repeat the last? How can we?
Games can be used to practice speaking and conversation skills in the language being studied.
How can we use the games and practicing our speaking? Yes.
Speaking and
yes, speaking and conversation.
In the being studied.
In the bank.
In the language being studied.
In the. Could you repeat the last one? In the what study?
To make it clear. Oke, bagaimana permainan itu dapat digunakan untuk melatih keterampilan berbicara dan percakapan dalam bahasa yang dipelajari?
Oh, yeah, that's the purpose of the games. Karena in the games, you give the material that you want the students to practice. For example, you want the students to practice hello, how are you, conversation, how do you do, what's your name. That can be done in a games, in a role play, yeah. And I kind of like blank. Yeah, that's the conversation speaking. Yeah. So mostly games, games can be used for conversation activities, for speaking activities, for listening activities. So games not only about having fun. Games in language teaching should have some meaning, something like that. I hope my material in PowerPoint can explain more. But if you have any questions about games, you can contact me via KKI, yeah, or like Pak Dadan mentioned earlier, there should be more meetings to discuss, to practice what the topics today, yeah, what we are giving today, because it cannot be only done in one session, something like that. I'm very sorry I cannot really answer the whole explanation because we are limited by time, yeah. But if you want to know more, you can contact me, or you can contact all the presenters via KKI, either to Pak Tris, Pak Dadan, Pak Belvin, or either to me, yeah. Okay, moderator, that's all from me. I will close my presentation. Thank you very much, everyone.
Okay, nice. Now we will continue to the next material. This is from Mr. Belvin, yeah. Will be delivered by the art of tutoring. Yeah. Before that, I will read the CP. Yes. Nama Mr. Belvin Payan Syahan. Ya, dengan pendidikan formal S1 di Universitas Airlangga Surabaya, S2 di Universitas Katolik Widya Mandala Surabaya, dan tempat mengajarnya yaitu di Cita Hati Christian School Surabaya, Indonesia. Nah, beliau juga seorang penulis ya, telah buku seperti Capel ya. Dan spesialisasi beliau sebagai guru bahasa Indonesia, koordinator Extend IC, guru Extend IC, guru research and community service. Keep up first. Oke, dari kuliah Bumi Kipas,
All right.
Belvin, time is yours.
All right, thank you, moderator. So good day, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Just frankly speaking, this is not my first meeting to see people from Mataram. So this is my second time. I think 10 years ago, I went to Lombok and Mataram to have like a community service, and we have like a tutoring in one of the elementary in Mataram. And at the time, I met the Kepala Diknas. And I was so surprised because the hospitality is really, really, really nice. And then I got this, one of the souvenir that the Kepala Diknas or the school gave it to me. So today I'm going to talk about something that is not very specific, like what Pak Dadan or Miss Nisa or Patrice has shared before. But today I'm going to talk about something that is related to philosophy or something in general. I hope you will understand about this part, because I know this part is very important. So sorry if I just eat candy because I have like a sore throat or coughing sometimes, but hopefully you understand. Okay, before that, just now we just learned about the game. I would like to check whether you also would like to participate in a game. I will give you like 3 slides about game. The instruction is very simple. I know Miss Nisa just mentioned before. Once you do a game, the instruction is very important. So please listen carefully. The instruction is simple. You are going to see a slide, and then there is pictures. And if you are in the classroom, you can grab the microphone fastly. I mean, like if you have it right now, just guessing. I'm choosing the guessing game. Just guess what would be the answer. Okay, are you ready now? If you are ready, if you are in the Zoom, could you please give the emoticon if you are ready? I haven't seen it yet. Patrice, are you ready? Miss Nisa, Zainuddin, are you ready? Can you hear my voice clearly?
Yes, Ustaz.
Right. You were ready right now. Right. This is the number 1. Okay. Find the pattern. What number is missing? You can type you can speak directly, or if you are shy, just type it in the chat box. What number is missing? Thirty seconds. Okay, let me see. Someone says 78. Somebody say 89. Right?
I think it's 78, no?
Oh, what?
78, no?
78? Are you sure?
I think so.
Well, why do you say 78?
It was 16 and then 606, 68.
All right, okay.
And then 98.
All right. Okay, thank you so much. So what about in the class? In the classroom, what would be your answer? Just think simple. It is a parking lot. There's number in each parking lot, and you have to find what number is below the car or beneath the car. All right, okay. I think somebody just guessed it right. Thank you so much, Pak Dadan or Pak Tris. That the answer is 87, because you are going to see that from the other side, right? So 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91. So don't see it from this side, okay? Don't see the number wait, the number 6.
All right, I see.
When you are parking your car, I think not from this side, okay? Not from this side, but supposed to be that side, okay? So that's the guessing. Let's continue to the next one. The next one, wait. Okay. What's wrong in this picture? What is wrong in this picture? It is a workplace. You have chair.
I think the time is not should be there.
Why is it?
Because yeah, should be in a screen of the laptop.
Right. Okay. That's number 1. Anything else? Pay attention to the detail. Right. In the classroom, do you have any guess? Any answer?
Laptop.
Okay. Correct. The laptop. I think in every laptop you have what is missing here? What button? I think you need a space button, right? If you don't have it, I don't think your laptop will be useful. Right.
Okay.
Okay, next one. Okay. You can say it directly or you can annotate in this screen. What is the mistake in the picture puzzle? Anyone know? Or anyone is thinking right now and then trying to see each letter one by one to find the mistake.
Maybe you should move V to U.
Oh, right, correct. That's the answer. So it reversed. Supposed to be the order after T is U, then V, not V, then U. Right. So I think that's gonna be one of the example of game in class. So as Pak Danan has mentioned before, like use the 10 minutes to grab the student's attention. I think this is one of the example of guessing. So thank you so much for your participation. So today I'm going to talk about something related to the philosophy. So before I continue to this one, the art of tutoring, may I know, this is my question before I continue to this one. Can I ask you, why do you join this organization or this OKM, Balanced English? Why do you join? Do you have any kind of a motivation? What is that? May I know? Somebody can speak up.
Study English.
Yeah. Why do you join?
I wanna study English.
You want to study English?
Yes.
Right. Okay. That will be true. Is there anything beyond of studying English? What do you want to reach in the future? Is it only just to practice?
We should learn about English, because English is international language.
Right.
Wherever you go, you have to speak English.
Right. Okay.
Like that.
Okay. All right. Mr. Zainuddin, may I know, are you a student or a teacher?
I'm a student actually.
Right. Okay. Can I continue?
But from different.
Okay, from different major. Am I correct? All right. Okay. So previously you just mentioned that you were teaching in a village, in one place. Am I correct?
Actually, no, but I saw most of people do like that.
Oh, right. Okay, most of people. So my question is actually, I guess that you're also trying to teach other people to use English. Is that correct?
Yes, just a little bit. I mean, I'm not trying to teach them. I just try to speak with them like that. Me, I'm able to speak English, even I'm not good.
Okay.
But if I can help someone, so it's good for me. I mean,
all right. Okay.
And for them.
Yeah. Well, why do you do that? I mean, like, there's no benefit for you in, let's say, in a big pictures, but why do you do that?
I love when someone speak English with me. I mean, like, I can learn about English again with other people.
All right, okay. That's wonderful. I really appreciate that. I think that's the art of teaching or tutoring. So today I'm going to talk about something related to that part. So hopefully you can understand. I try to make it fast because I think this is approaching to the lunch time. Here I think it's already like 11 to almost 12. I guess there would be around 1. Let me just continue. Okay, so the first one that I would like you to know about the role of tutoring. So this is important because the goal of a tutor is not only teaching the content or material, but somehow the other side of the content or material. Somehow when you say, for example, previously somebody just say they're so shy to speak up in English and etc. I think Patrice just mentioned that somehow we need to understand their background or the psychological aspect. That's why tutoring is not only about teaching the content, but somehow you also need to build their confidence and the self-esteem. That's very important. And however, people will only see, for example, the area of teaching is only the teaching itself. They don't know about the preparation. They don't know about the evaluation. They don't know about the development. They only know about teaching. I think people will only see a teacher or a tutor just because they're teaching. However, they don't even know the prep, the evaluation, and etc. It's just like an iceberg mountain. It's only they see only the upper side. So I think this is gonna be like this is normal. But however, as tutor, I think we need to know this cycle of teaching. All right. So let me say this thing for you right now. I think a role as a tutor or teacher is very serious. Why? Because there is morality there. Once you teach the concept wrong, it will be affect to your students. Or once you say wrong, I think it would be a big disaster for your students because they got it wrong. But this is the thing. One thing for sure is I know as a tutor or teacher, students will always trust in their teachers. Let's say, for example, I have son. He's in elementary. Somehow he will say like, I think my teachers just say this one. My teachers just say that one. They always believe their teachers. They don't believe in me as a parent, but they really trust their teacher. All right, so I'm going to share you about 7 things about the tips and trick to succeed as a young tutor. I know you joined this organization, this OKM. It's not only to understand English, but I would like to introduce you the cycle of the art tutoring, what I call Chat GPT. What is Chat GPT? I know people right now are talking or sharing about ChatGPT, but for me, I use this ChatGPT is stand for chat nggak pakai tunggu, because we are human. Okay, chat nggak pakai tunggu. As teachers or as tutor, I think we need to know about this one. Let me explain it one by one. So, do you agree that we are going to be replaced by the artificial intelligence in the futures? I think in a area of education, probably not. Why? Because we are different. We are human. We are not machine. We're not chatbot or something like that. So let me introduce the first one is your calling. The question is like, are you the right person as tutor or teacher? Do you have any other motivation to join this organization, for example? Or do you think that this is like a condition, is a must from the university that you have to join some of the OKM, for example? But why do you choose this Parlance English? So are you the right person in there? So calling is what makes life meaningful. So you have passion, this one. So I assume that Pak Sugianto asked you to do this thing just because you have that passion. And it helps you to live a purposeful life, because that's why I asked Zainuddin just now, do you have anything in the futures? Do you have any purpose in your life? And it will be aligned with your talent and values, because I believe like once you join this one, I think you would like to prove your talent, or you are going to achieve your values. And then you are going to do that work hardly, even though you are not going to be paid or to be to get the external reward, just like what KKI or Kelas Kreatif, Pada dan Patrice or Miss Nisa doing right now. Even when we don't being paid, I think we are really wholeheartedly to do it, because this is our calling and we're going to bless other people. I agree what Zainuddin just mentioned. I love to share something that I know, and I love when people also can do what I know, for example. So to bless other people is very important. That's the calling. Okay, but the question more or less will be, say, I don't know my calling, so how can I find my calling? This is a kind of a self-reflection for now for us, even for me. So is it my calling to be in education, or to teach, or become a tutor, for example? So my answer, if you would like to read this book, I suggest you to read this book wrote by Bill Jor. The book is about related to the leadership, but the answer for this, for people who are going to find their calling, is just to follow your true north. Why is it called by true north? It's just like internal compass. Once you decide, for example, like look at the globe, for example, you choose one place, that's going to be your internal compass in your heart, your passion, your goal. So I think you're going to do many effort to get into your purpose or your goal. So that's very important. So ask yourself right now, is it true, or is it my calling to be in this UKM or not? Or do I have any other goal inside? For example, oh, I joined this UKM to find a boyfriend, a girlfriend, or something like that. Not because of your calling. Okay, so here is one thing, if you can see, like this can be debatable. So 80% of the students college in Indonesia, they are not continued to do their major in their real life. Why? Probably there are many factors. One is that because this is not their calling, this is not their passion. Or the second one would be like, it can be their passion is changed along the way. Or the other thing can be like their supply and demand. So for example, we need teachers, but a lot of the demand is not really high, but the supply is really high. So some people will change their work just because the supply and demands is not balanced. But here's the thing, the conclusion that I say, please reflect on ourselves right now. There are banyak orang yang terpilih tapi sedikit yang terpanggil. So there are a lot of people who are chosen, but the calling itself, panggilan hati atau jiwanya itu is not there. Right. So that's the first one. That's the C. The second one is the honesty. So why do we have to be honesty? Because I think this is going to be the first source in our life, because it affects to ourselves and also affect to the external. Once we are being honest to ourselves, I think we are also going to be that we use that habit to other people. So that is for now. I think if we know that we have that calling, I think we have to start to admit that we don't have the know-how. It is very important. So for example, why? Because no one born as superhuman. Somehow we have many weaknesses. So that's why if we have that calling, let's say, for example, in tutoring, for example, so we need to know that we are not the expertise right now. We still have to grow. We still have to be humble, and then to have like a lifelong learner. So let me show you the example. So I just try to find out which country is the most honest people in the other country. So the answer from tempo.co is only Swiss. Switzerland is the first one, the first rank, the most honest people in the world, because there is a research that they've been doing. They have they left a wallet on a street, and then just to see how many people will return it back. So it seems like Switzerland have like 70% of the people are returning the wallet, while Indonesia is in the 33, yeah, 33 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 33, urutan ke-33 negara yang paling jujur. So this is one of the analogy. So then I try to check Switzerland is the secure country in the world. I think they are in the rank number 7. So it's aligned. Once the people have the honesty, I think it will create like the place, the country will be safer for the people. And this is from the Malcolm Forbes. I think the biggest mistake in people's life is not trying to make a living doing what the most enjoy. Saya rasa ini banyak orang yang bekerja di tempat di mana dia nggak enjoy. So we're not being honest to ourselves. Right. So what would be the relation in the tutoring or teaching? So I think honesty is one of the trait or character that the students will imitate or will be cloned from their teachers, because, for example, this is teachers is not the Google or the artificial intelligence. For sure, yes. For somehow, if we don't know something, let's say, for example, like what apps that we can use to practice our speaking skill. If we don't know it, just be honest. I don't know that one, but say like, for example, okay, I'll try to find out the answer for that. I think in the next meeting, I'm going to let you know, for example. So I think just try to be honest is very important in teaching. So that's why we can create like the environment of the willing to learn, di mana guru dan siswanya itu bisa saling mengajar. So for example, technology in the younger or the teenager right now, they're really fast to learn the technology. While, for example, the teachers in the past, they're not really good in it. So why don't we have to collaborate and to reteach or not reteach, but to learn together about their technology, for example. So that's why I think honesty is very expensive, because that's going to be the source of to, let's say, for example, like why corruption is happen, just because we are not trying to build this honesty from since we are a kid, we are a child, especially in education. Then the next one is, I think, the self-reflection for us right now, especially you guys, if you are joining this UKM, just ask yourself, am I trapped as a tutor, or is this what I want? Is this just like a diversion because I haven't had a purpose, for example, or this is my true calling or not? Okay. The third one, I think this is just what the Pak Dadan has mentioned before. I think active planning. You have the calling. You're trying to be honest to yourself. I think the third one is try to build an active planning just to achieve your goal. So, for example, like this one, you not only focus on the academic aspect, but somehow you also have to think about the psychological aspect. So you have to see your students as a full package, a person, not only the brain, but also the heart and their mind. It is very important. So what Patrice just mentioned, not to win the score. So the purpose is not always to win the score, but somehow to win their heart. Is very important. Character is kind of a foundation for everything in life. So planning is crucial. That's why I think a lesson plan is very important. That's what Pak Danan has mentioned in the beginning. Once you are deciding to teach, I think lesson planning is lesson planning is crucial. So you can see, for example, right now, before the class, you have to think about what would be your plan. So from the beginning, from the first minute, and then during the classroom, what are you going to share? What kind of strategy are you going to use? And then after class. So this is very important to reflect what is working and what is not working. Then I think also Pak Dana has mentioned this one. This is very specific in the classroom. What are you going to do from gaining their attention until doing the in Bahasa Indonesia we call that pengayaan. Yeah, so it means that once you evaluate, there are some students who are really not understand the lesson. You need to enhance the retention and etc. All right. The other thing that's very important while teaching is differentiated learning. What is this? So in this case, I will say like this is a kind of analogy. Once you have a plan, not only one plan provided. You have to plan, for example, plan B, plan C, or plan D. Why? Because let's say, for example, like this. The learning profile of your students, for example, are they in the city or in the villages or in the rural area, for example? They will have like learning profile. So that's why you have to adjust your teaching, your content material, for example, to your students. So that's why it has to be there, the differentiated learning. Once, for example, one game is not working, you have to find or to create another game that is suitable to the students. Also for the let's say, for example, like the product. So there will be fast learner and slow learner. So it is important for you to differentiate the type of the activity or the concept, the material, and the time management, for example. Okay, so this is very important. A plan is only as good as its implementation. So once you plan something, but you don't implement that, it's nothing. So you have a good plan, execute it nicely according to your plan. Next one is training. This part is, I believe you have ever known about practice makes you perfect. As a good teacher or English, I think you need to practice. Let me show you the analogy of this part. Okay, if I may ask you right now, I think you see there are two superstars in a footballer right now, Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. But again, they are always back to the field, to the camping ground, or not camping ground, training ground, for example. So why do you think they still need to practice? Anyone can answer me. Kenapa sih mereka masih harus latih?
Excuse me. I think because they need something more and more. They never fill enough. I mean, there is something we have to learn and never say enough. There's something like that.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, it's really funny to see, like, for example, like the Messi and Ronaldo, they're still practicing every day as a daily basis. For example, they always practice. They go back to the field. Meanwhile, they have achieved like personal award. They've been they won the World Cup, they won the Ballon d'Or, and etc. But they still back to the field. Is that because, yeah, I agree, because they want to achieve more and more. So this is the analogy for that. If best is possible, good is not enough. I think if you are trying to join this community, I think good is not enough. If you want to be the best tutor or the best person who are going to speak English, I think good is not enough. So that's why you need practice and practice. It is very important. Why? Because later on, here in this side, there are always things to study more and more. For example, in the area of teaching, you need to practice how to deliver the content, how to be a good public speaker, because you are going to talk with the students. Somehow you're going to talk to the parents and etc. And also about how to manage your classroom. The use of technology, especially technology, is not only stopped by this year, but it's going to be changed every year. And also to create innovative learning and teaching. So the purpose is, how are you going to upgrade your skill? And then to find that you have your teaching style. Because some person or one tutor, one teachers, they have a different skill and also a teaching style. So that's why you need to practice in what things are you good at. Okay. Then the next one is ChatGPT. So this is the G, generative. Generative is the, I just simplified that to be productive. So once you have your calling, once you are being honest to yourself, once you are have a planning, and then you have practice, and then the other thing is to be productive. Everything you have right now, but the thing is you need to prove what you have learned or what you have practiced. So there are two reasons for not being productive. Somehow in the teenager right now, they're spending too much energy on things we cannot control. Let's say, for example, scrolling on social media and etc. Or having no clear vision. So let's say, for example, I joined this community, but I don't know, have no idea what am I going to do in the future. I just joined because my university asked me to join. But please change their mindset. Having a clear vision from now. How to do it? There are many things to do. For example, eliminate unintentional break. For example, like you're spending a lot of time on social media, or nongkrong, or hangout, or etc. Use scheduling, or do to-do lists. Use more organizational tools, or collaborate with other people, with other communities. So for example, like your university and KKI is one way to be productive. Reading quality book, for example, and then create product. You create a community, books, video, and etc. So there are a lot of things to do to be productive. So this is the conclusion for this one. You have, if you have your calling, you have your planning, you have practice, but without implementation is nothing without production, because you don't have any product to show to other people. You don't have any portfolio. Or for example, you like to teach, but you don't share, or you don't show it, or you don't teach, it's nothing. Then the sixth one is patient. I think the other side of teaching is not only concentrating in the teaching material, but somehow this is the psychological aspect. Patient is very important. Why is it? Because this one, we don't have to be smarter than the rest, but we have to be more disciplined than the rest. If you want to achieve a successful thing, I think this part is very important. Discipline. You need to enjoy the process until you got the output. So if you want to be the best tutor, for example, so you need to have this one, you have the calling until you have planning, and then you practice, then you can see. The other side of teaching, for example, related to this one, is about your student. I know some of you just mentioned they're really shy to speak in English. They don't want to try the English and etc. I think we need to consider about this diversity, why, or their background, or to understand about their lives and their pressure that they have. Somehow probably they will not going to speak just because their friends are bullying them, or they're not really confident with their own ability. And also we need to be aware about our gesture, our speaking, for example, because it can be somehow intimidate your students. And also need to see person by person about their character. Somehow they will feel lonely in a big class or being alienated because many factors. Then number 7 will be the last, is talk the talk. I think you have the calling, you have the honesty, you have the planning, you have practice and so on. But if you don't confident, I think everything will be loose, will be nothing. Then the things that I would like to highlight is about integrity. So teachers or tutor is the real example. Let's say, for example, like this. Okay, guys, please speak in English, but you don't speak in English. I don't think that's gonna be the talk, or walk the talk. Or let's say, please come on time, but you are always late. That's not integrity. So you are the real example. What you are saying is what you are doing in action. So integrity is number 1, just to make sure that what the things that you are teaching is also relatable to what you do in your action. Okay, so last but not least, I think this is always be the cycle of teaching. Fulfill your calling, that's the first thing. And then if you would like to be the best teacher or the best tutor, I think do this cycle. Because if you do preparation and you just teaching, and then you don't evaluate and you don't develop yourself, I think you are just an ordinary teacher. But you do preparation, you do teaching, you evaluate what you have been teaching, and then you develop yourself, upgrade your skill, you're going to be the best tutor or the best teacher. And yeah, this can be happen if you can, I can conclude like fulfilling your calling and true experiences in your life. But for sure, up and down will be happening in your career or your teaching, but nothing is impossible. All right, I think that's all that I can share for you today. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Belvin. Okay, the next is Q&A. Okay. To our friend who wanna give question. Yeah, Miss Oktopa.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Directly, my question is, where will we start to learn English as student of university? What kind of plan lesson we have to make tutor to get good result for our student?
Can you repeat it again? I mean, slowly. It's just like echoing here.
Okay. Where will we start to learn English as student of university?
All right.
Yes. And what kind of the plan lesson we have to make tutor to get good result for our student?
What plan?
Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. So your question, where will we start? I think in the university, if possible, for example, like as soon as possible. Yeah. Once you are like in elementary or junior high school, don't wait until university. That's my experience. Because my major is, if you can see my CV, my major is Indonesian. In my university, S1 is Bahasa Indonesia. I study Bahasa Indonesia, but then I realized that it is very important. It is too late if you just study English in university. If you have time, do more practice. How can we do that? For example, I think movie is the movie. Yeah, movie. If you like to watch movie, first you can use the subtitle, but then try to eliminate the subtitle. If you don't understand, for example, you can open the subtitle, then check into dictionary. What does it mean? What is it? So doing like practice, if you can do it sooner is better. Don't wait until, for example, like if you are in the university. If you can do that in the elementary, junior high school, etc. But if you are in the university right now, the first thing that you can do is reading. Somehow I believe to be productive in or to produce something, you have to get the input. So input first, then the output. Okay. Read a lot. That's the first one. Once you read a lot, you will get like a lot of vocabularies. Read, then try to practice to read aloud. Jadi baca dulu nggak apa-apa, tapi habis itu berlatih membaca. Try to read. If you find, for example, difficult word, write it down. Try to find the synonym. Try to find the meaning. Then you will remember, then try to use it. Itu yang paling simple ya. Jadi banyak membaca dulu, termasuk nanti kalau di listening juga sama. So try to listen to the song, movie, for example, and you can use that as a tools or data that you ever heard this word. So that's the thing that you can do right now. Read a lot. Jadi baca dulu banyak. Semakin banyak membaca, akan lebih mudah untuk bisa berbahasa Inggris. Then try to practice. Somehow Indonesian, the big mistake that Indonesian people do is they always focus on the grammar. Jadi kesalahan itu selalu fokus di grammar sehingga kita takut untuk berbicara. Just try to speak as much as possible. Whatever the grammar and etc. As long the message is clear, I think that's fine. Kadang-kadang di bule pun mereka nggak peduli tentang grammar, as long as they got your message, that's the very important for them. Okay, the second question would be about the plan to teach the students to get the best result. Is that what you are asking?
What kind of
The microphone is off.
Okay, my question is, what kind of plan lesson we have to make tutor to get good result for our student? Result for our student.
Okay, what plan for the speaking activity or listening activity? Or general plan? The microphone is off again.
For general, Mr.
Oh, general. Okay. If I can suggest, if the first one is to check your English first. That's very important. I don't think you are going to teach something that is very complex. So if I can suggest you try to teach the simple one. Try to teach the simple one and then the one that you are mastering in it. Jadi sesuatu yang sudah kita kuasai. Karena apa? Karena kalau kita sudah menguasai, we are really confident with that. Kalau yang terlalu sulit, kadang-kadang kita nggak pede. So it won't be working well. So try to teach something that you know best, you are mastering in it, the simple way, so you build your confidence. Okay, then go to the next level, but continue to study and practice. So that's the thing that you can transfer to your student. Try from the simple one, then go to the next level, that I can suggest. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Izin moderator, boleh nanya?
Okay, to Istan. Ya, Miss Esti.
Anything else, or can I stop?
I just asked the moderator. Maybe I can ask some question.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, my question is, everyone has different abilities in learning. Some understand quickly and some are slow to understand the material. So what I want to ask is, how can a teacher or tutor overcome this problem so that students who are slow in understanding the material are not left behind by their other friends? Okay,
Right.
thank you.
That's a good question. That's what I have mentioned before, what I call differentiated learning.
Yes.
So, yeah, there will be students who are really fast. There will be students who are in the middle range, and there will be students who are really slow. That's why I told you, like, prepare plan A, plan B, and plan C. So that's very important. So you use the plan A for the fast learner, plan B for the middle range, and plan C for the slow learner. How can you do that? Is by knowing the character of your students. That's why you can create, for example, a pre-test before you are teaching. So you know you are mapping their capability, their English competency, for example. So you see that by through mapping. Then you can prepare your planning. Oh, plan A will be like this, plan B will be like this, and then plan C would be for the slow learner. The same material, but somehow for the fast learner, you can use more time, or you can give them more time, or you reduce the difficulty of the material. Do you get it? So plan A, plan B, plan C need to be provided before you are teaching. If plan A is not working, yeah, go to the plan B and then go to the plan C. Yep. Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe by Zoom.
Yes, please. I have a question, sorry.
Yep.
Excuse me, sir. Thank you so much for the time. So my question is still same, like what I said to Mr. Tris, like how to build up the self-confidence with our students, because you know the most people I meet, when we ask them to learn about English, first thing they will laugh and then they will say, I'm shy. And then when we ask them to say something in English, they will feel uncomfortable, you know, like uncomfortable. I mean, like they don't really, what do you say? I cannot explain it, but yeah, they are exciting to learn,
but they don't
know when to start, where I have to start, like that.
All right, okay, I think
you,
right, okay, so the only thing that I can share to you, I mean, like this is the true experience. I think I've been there, because it used to be I don't really often to use English. I know how to read, but I don't know how to, I'm not really confident to speak. So then how am I going to be confident, is by the let's say one by one approaching, like you met him or her and you talk to her, and then try to find out, for example, the reason why do you so shy, why don't you try, and then listen to the problem, and then that's the root of the problem is important to be discussed, and then to find the solution. So it used to be, yeah, for myself, I don't want to try my English, is because my friend would be loving at all time whenever I try to speak in English. So the problem is the environment. So how do I have to change that, is if you are in a classroom, make a contract with your students. At any time people will speak in English, no one will laugh.
Okay.
That's the first one. Say that there is no superhuman. No one is perfect. Everyone make mistake, but people can learn from their mistake. So this is a kind of a support or motivation that we can give to the students. Once they are speaking in English, give them praise them. Wow, great! You've been doing a great job. So it will build their self-confidence. So that's the thing that I can tell you, Mr. Zainuddin.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
Appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, psychological aspect, we need to hear the problem, and then if we can find the problem, then we have to find the solution. It is the environment, or let's say it is from the interpersonal or another problem. We need to find the solution.
Okay. The thing that I do, I just tell them about my story. Like, I mean, yeah, I've been working in Gidetawang and blah blah blah, and then I start from zero until now, and then I just give them like some positive support, like that.
Yeah, that's
Is that
true.
correct?
Yeah, that's true. Your personal story would be stronger to convince them. Let's say like I used to be like that. I used to be like that. I know your feeling. I know it. So I think they will have the side like, oh yeah, not only me who got that problem, but other people also has it. So yeah, tell your personal story. The true story will help them, convince them that you can do it.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Miss Anissa. I think that will be the last one. Thank you so much.
Okay, maybe enough, Mister.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much to our great speaker, Mr. Belvin. Yeah. Okay. The last agenda is closing. To make it barokah, let's close this agenda by reciting Hamdalah together. Mister, we will take picture together, right?
Yes, for
Please,
sure.
all the audience, please open camera.
Can I have a quick excuse a bit?
1, 2, 3. Once again. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Once more, Mister. Once more.
I think I'm not exist.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much to all speaker. Yeah. Kelas Kreatif Indonesian team. Yeah, thank you so much for the some knowledge for today. Yeah. Maybe that's all. I don't just for my mistake. The rest I can say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning and see you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. See you later. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Pak
Thank
Tri.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oke, terima kasih Pak Dadan, terima kasih.
Sama-sama Pak Sugianto. Terima kasih. Ya. Mohon izin lab ya Pak ya.
Yeay.
Selesai acara ini.
Hidayatul Hilmi. Hidayatul Hilmi.
Ya.
Oh ya, Tidam 5.
Ini tapi.
Ayan.
Semuanya bisa bubar. Bubar Hidayatul Helmi Opa, Oktava Winda bubar. Left. M Zainuddin left. Sudah selesai.